don't. They're still using whatever bar their mommy bought for her little man. Is that what you want? To smell like mama's little man? Ugh. But now you can upgrade your shower game with Dr. Squatch Natural Soap. I'm talking about natural, nourishing, cold-pressed hand-cut soap for men. Men who use their hands. Men who build things. Men who open the pickle jar on the first try. Men who catch foul balls without spilling their beer. You won't just smell good either. Your skin will be healthier and more nourished. Dare I say, soft. Oh, men aren't supposed to have soft skin? Yeah, well, men weren't supposed to cry during movies. And then they made the movie Rudy. He's so little. You want to smell like the forest? Boom, pine tar, we've got you. You want to smell like the sea? Boom, nautical sage, we've got you. You want to smell like you just got off a boat in the Caribbean? Boom, bay rum, we've got you. And with 6 more cents, we've got you covered no matter what kind of man you are. Now you're wondering, why have I been doing it wrong for so long? During the First World War, big soap started taking out all the natural ingredients to make production cheaper and faster. And they replaced all the natural stuff with chemicals. Chemicals like sodium lauryl sulfate, parabens, and dioxin. Chemicals linked to depression, liver damage, cancer, and low sperm count. And worst of all, dry skin. Oh. Your poor balls, all dry, empty, and sad. But there's good news. We make our soaps with natural ingredients from the earth. Ingredients like oils, plants, goat's milk, Greek yogurt, oatmeal, shea butter, and citrus. No. Turn your shower game up to 11. With the smooth lather of gold moss or the exfoliating woodsy bliss that is pine tar. Get ready to step out of the shower feeling alive. Still not sure? Here's a couple reviews from real customers. Joseph S. says,
"This is the perfect bar of soap. It's like it was handcrafted in the Northwest Forest by beautiful tiny elves."
Oh, tiny elves isn't enough for you? Well, here's another review from Michael A.
It makes you feel like you just stepped out of a mountain stream, and Squatch was there to hand you the towel.
It's time for you to get the right tool for the job, because you're worth it, my friend. We ship it right to your door. And with a 100% satisfaction guarantee, if it's not the best bar of soap you've ever used, it's on us. Tens of thousands of men already soapscribe. Which means that every month, fresh new bars of Squatch show up at their door. Click the link for Dr. Squatch Natural Soap. Real soap for real men. Or don't, and continue to be mommy's little helper.
That's a wrap.
All right, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Did he click it yet? Did he click the link? He hasn't clicked the link? I would have heard about the dry, sad balls. Oof. Man, what's this guy doing? Click the link, man. Step up your shower game.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rackets regular, the bombs bursting
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome here to a Sunday night on the Turn 3 Racing Network. I am your host, Chris. Along with me for the ride here tonight from Kansas, it's my good friend, Rick. Rick, how are you tonight, brother?
Hey, brother. Happy Sunday. I'm doing well, man. Hopefully you're doing the same. I'm excited to be here with Kansas, man, and the Blazing Pedals, TRJKarting.com K&N series, man. It's going to be a good time here tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time. And aerial coverage for tonight's race, as always, brought to you by TRJKarting.com.
TRJKarting.com is your #1 online source for karting components, engines, and safety gear. They have a huge selection for the novice to the professional and a dedicated section for sim racers. No matter how you do it, your desire and passion to go fast fuels them. Their focus is to put their customers into victory lane. Make sure you check them out at TRJKarting.com and give them a like on Facebook.
And definitely make sure to give them that like on Facebook. Right now, trained in on last week's winner. Rick, it was an incredible display of pit road strategy that got Dalton Kilroe the win last week. Here we are at another cookie cutter, this 1.5 mile track known as Kansas Speedway. What has the kid got up his sleeve tonight?
Well, you know, I've been watching Dalton through practice here, Chris, since I got on into the track here at around 6:30, and it's looking pretty good. I'm seeing some guys hit the wall a little bit, but Dalton's been pretty strong out there. So I think we're going to see that Daddy O's number 41 change its way up through the front, depending on where he qualifies. And I don't think he's going to be back where he qualifies very long, unless he qualifies on the pole. I mean, 5 wins so far this season, Chris. I think he's looking for more.
Yeah, between him and Jamie Walker, this gentleman here with the 88, they have by far been the class of the field so far. That's not saying, though, that there haven't been other winners, Rick, as there certainly have been. Let's go ahead and take a look at the points chase here. All those drivers thrown down in the yellow have locked themselves in by virtue of race win. So that's Dalton Kilroe, Jamie Walker, TBB, Taylor the Butcher Benjamin, Derek Paulson, Jason Powell, and Dakota Todd. All of those drivers, again, have gotten into the chase by virtue of a win. And then let's look at some of the other names up there. Corey Sherman, the Shermanator, in his number 3, right now in 6th spot in the points. He hasn't won one, but he has been ultra consistent, Rick.
Yeah, he really has, Chris. Now, of course, last week we saw the Shermanator have a little bit of an issue, and his race ended not the way that he wanted it to. I mean, it was a great race last week at Charlotte, but had a little bit of a mechanical failure on the car, so his race ended short. But hey, listen, I think the Shermanator's coming back out here to prove. I'm sure he worked on his equipment, made sure everything was good there for this week, and I think we're going to see big things out of that 3.
Yeah, of course. Let's see. We have Ryan Wash, Brian Diaz, Rick Thompson, Brad Collins, Ian Habiak, Brian McRae, Adrian Pedra, and excuse me one second, I just got okay, I just had word in from Mark Arthur, one of the race control admins here. They're going to be using the iRacing's new tire limit feature tonight. So iRacing going to be able to control that, and we'll definitely keep an eye on that. As I was saying, though, Aaron Bockover, Hayden Wheeler, those are the drivers that are above that cutoff line. If you're below that right now, Rick, you've got a few more races here. Well, a little bit more than a few, but you've got some ground to make up, and you're going to have to start doing it in a hurry.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Chris. I mean, a lot of those guys, I mean, we talked about them already, multiple wins so far this season, so they know what they have to do. You know, now they can relax. They can just go out there, have a good time. And but there's a lot of drivers, like you said. I mean, one of them, you know, we're going to talk to him shortly. Terry Foster, you know, he's been kind of hovering around there, so we'll see where he ends up. And a lot of other drivers starting to think about that now. We do have quite a few weeks left. I mean, I think it ends in September, if I'm not mistaken, before that gets locked in. But I think there's a lot of guys out there that want to try to make the move early, so that way they can kind of sit back and just take that pressure off.
Yeah, well, here we are, you know, basically the second week of June racing here, so that September marker really not that far away. But you already said his name, so let's go ahead and get him on up here, Rick. Terry Foster getting set to take us down the grid. Terry, this is Chris and Rick up in the booth. Do you have a copy?
I do, boys. How you doing?
Well, we're doing pretty good. I think, you know, dinner is settling, and I think it might be time to do a little walk, if you will.
Yeah, that works for me. How about the driver of the 16 TRJKarting.com, Mr. Ian Heaviak?
All right, as we work to get him in channel, just bear with us just a moment.
I'm not
It
seeing.
looks like Ian isn't there, but maybe we grabbed Tim.
Him, maybe.
He said he was in here. Huh.
He might be under his dad's. Let's take a look here.
All right.
Tim and Ian, Tim or Ian. This is Rick, Chris, and Terry up in the booth. You got a copy, bud?
Yeah, I got you.
There
Who
you
is
go,
it?
Terry.
Is that Tim?
No, it's me. Ian.
Oh, hey, man. Hey, thanks for joining me. I have a couple of questions for you tonight.
All right.
The main one is you won a race last week, man. Tell us about that and what type of race it was.
All right. Well, I mean, it was a kart race in at a track called State Line Speedway in Lawsonville, North Carolina, about half a mile away from the Virginia border. So,
Did we lose you?
no, I heard Chris or whatever in my ear.
Oh,
Yeah, so it just no, but yeah, we were just kind of doing that up there. I mean, we were running all right all day, and then that last race, we got like tires just right, gearing just right, and everything lined up.
all right, cool. Well, the other thing I had, Jamie Walker is now your guys' teammate there. How you feeling about that? Is he helping you guys out a little bit, or you guys helping him out, or what's going on with that?
Yeah, you're breaking up there, Terry.
Okay.
I'm feeling pretty. Yeah, that's not hurt me a lot better. But yeah, Terry, having Jamie as a teammate, he's really good, really helpful. I mean, he's probably one of the better ones in this league. Definitely really fast for sure. And I'm excited to have him as a teammate. I've been learning off of them for a little bit, and I mean, yeah. So just doing that, I mean, having him there is really helpful.
All right, man. Well, I'll let you get back out there and practice, and I'm going to head out there for two. Congratulations on your win last week, and we will see you on the track here in a little bit.
All right, then. Yep. Thank you.
Yep.
Good luck, buddy.
That was Ian Habiak. Terry, want to thank you, and yeah, get yourself out there, get that 86 machine rolling around this track. From what I hear, right front tires are gonna be an issue tonight.
I can't even get all four to turn, man. I just can't get the feel of the car tonight for some reason. It's going to take a little bit. So 86 will be running though.
Well, listen, one thing you got to do though, you got to listen to me, man. You got to change that number font to the one that I told you to put it on, because it'll look a lot better. Trust me on that.
I forgot all about that, bud.
That's okay. But hey, listen, whoever your paint guy is, car's mint now. Get it up past 20th place today, okay? I know you can do it.
Oh, I know I can too. I will. I will have it past 20th.
Now, here's my big question that I have for you for one of your teammates there. Maybe you know the answer. Now, we know that the Shermanator had a big problem last week with some issues with his equipment. Did he get that figured out, hopefully?
Let me ask you this. Is he back on track, do you know of? He had to disconnect, and he said his computer was doing an upgrade or something.
Oh, not again. See, that's at least he caught it early. It does say that he has connected and re-entered the track. So,
okay.
Hopefully, we'll see. But hey, listen, good luck to you guys over at TNA tonight, and keep that paint clean.
Thanks, buddy. I'll do what I can. We'll talk to you guys later.
All right, Terry Foster gonna try and get it done here tonight for us, Rick.
Yeah, you know, he's going to do it, Chris. I mean, he's been practicing so much there during their last off season, and not every driver likes these cookie cutter tracks. I mean, it's hard. I mean, we got another one next week. We head over to Michigan after this, so you know, we'll see what happens. And I got good faith in Terry. He's going to get up there.
Yeah, I do too. Meanwhile, we have a little bit of time here before we get into qualifying, so we're going to step away for just a moment after this word from our sponsor. We're back live here from Kansas Speedway as these guys getting ready to go into qualifying, having a little pre-race fun out there right now. And it gives us an opportunity to kind of see these cars bunched up together. Oh, boy. Rick, they bunched up a little bit too close together that time through.
Doing a little pit party, and yeah, I mean, that's something that these guys, I mean, it's good that they knew the pit parties were in practice, Chris, because they can try to figure out, how the cars are going to feel in a pack. And, it's looking a little crazy out there. I mean, that track temperature, this is what we're used to, buddy. I mean, the last couple of weeks have been kind of cool there on the track temperature, but right now it's sitting at 111 degrees. That air temperature is sitting at 79, so nice and warm here at Kansas tonight. And I just got word too that Ian Habiak finally has his spotter back. So Tim's joining Ian again, so good to see that. But I think we're in for an interesting race here, Chris. Especially, I mean, that track temperature just keeps climbing. Now it's 112, so cars are going to slip and slide all over the place here tonight.
And of course, not only are we live here on YouTube, but over on the Pride Outdoor Network. Want to thank you all for tuning in here on a Sunday night. You're going to be watching the Blazing Pedals, TRJKarting.com K&N series right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Nothing better to do on a Sunday night than to watch some cars go around this big 1.5-mile track known as Kansas Speedway, Rick. And this one is going to be a challenge. We've seen it. Even Mark Arthur, the lead admin here at Blazing Pedals, he even wrote and said, oh boy, right front is going to be a challenge. They're going to have to save big time here tonight.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, we're seeing it here during practice, Chris, and I mean, the temperature just keeps going up, 114, so it's going to get real interesting here. It's Kansas. Guys are going to want to ride, flat out, and it's going to be quite interesting to see how this all turns out. But the tire limit, so we talked about that already. Now, we know that these guys usually only have 3 sets. Now, iRacing put out a huge update last week, Chris. So that is going to be a nice thing for the admins. They can set it to 3. They don't have to sit there. Poor Terry, he doesn't have to sit there all day tomorrow morning looking at all through the race to see who took tires and whatnot. And I think it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good one. And, as we're here, Tim wrote to me, and as soon as he wrote to me, I said, oh boy, Tim actually got me a file. I'm going to have to try and get on to make it work here. It's going to be, it's going to be interesting how I'm going to have to figure out how to do it, but I am going to get it done. Basically, it is his other son, Ethan, giving the command to start engines here tonight. So I definitely want to get that one working.
Yeah, definitely. I know that was something that they were talking about, Chris, and I think that's going to be pretty cool. They're the Habiak family. They love racing, man. I mean, it's in their blood, in their heart, and it's going to be cool. I mean, we've been watching Ian, grow up through the ranks, and now we get to have his little brother Ethan help us out, man. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure. And just like that, Rick, here we are getting ready to qualifying here a little bit different than in some other leagues. And Rick, why don't you go ahead and explain what that's all about?
That's right, what was that?
Sorry, I caught you off.
You did.
Basically, I just talk about qualifying, how they're doing it here.
Oh, okay. So qualifying, really cool the way that Blazing Pedals does it. Usually we see the cars go out, one at a time and do a qualifying run, but here it's going to be all open. And so everybody's going to go out there now. This comes to a couple of advantages and disadvantages. Of course, everybody out there, if you tap the wall, go off track, your lap doesn't count, so you have to go out there. So a lot of guys, I think we're going to see some of them will be going out there and just doing away from their teammates and everything. Other guys, they might use the draft a little bit to try to push themselves up towards the field and get that pole. So really cool and interesting way that they do it, and it's been working out really well here on Sunday nights with the Blazing Pedals TRJ Karting K&N series, and I like it. But right now it looks like everybody that I'm looking kind of running just by themselves as much as they possibly can, Chris, so that's kind of interesting.
Well, I think I think they figured out they need to figure out how to get around this track at this point. Don't want to cause any problems. Here we are in the middle of qualifying. Let's just get it done and keep it straight on track. Let's go ahead and bring up the qualifying drop down just so we can take a peek at how some of these drivers are doing. And really, Rick, only a handful of drivers have gone past that start finish line to put down a qualifying lap so far. And of the bunch, Rick Thompson on top of the board.
And, this is something that we're used to seeing, Chris. A lot of guys, especially on a big track like this, 1.5 miles, they might hang back a little bit. And the idea with that whole thing is is they can hang back. They have a little bit of a control on their car. They can try to watch for accidents, stuff like that, move their way up through the field. I mean, we saw it last week where, last week's winner, Kilroe, he started way in the back and he was back there all race, but when it really mattered at the last few closing laps, Chris, he had a really good pit strategy. He went out, got tires, and he just blew through the field. And so I think we're going to see that tonight. I mean, there's a couple guys that I think will not be going out there, and I'm sure the 88 Jamie Walker is going to be one of them. And we'll see how that goes. Now Kilroe kind of making a little surprise right now. He's sitting third on the qualifying charts right now. So he decided that he didn't want to do that this week. He wanted just to qualify good and start up towards the front.
Absolutely. Well, let's see. Terry Foster out on track so far. He's got the 9th quickest time, but some things are changing here as it's happening. But man, yeah, good looking car. Again, guy who painted it did a good job. Ian Habiak going to step out on track, Rick, and so far he's got the 15th quickest time out there. He's going to look to improve that. We saw him have a little difficulties before qualifying goes. So let's see if he learned anything during that practice session. It's great to have that hour, and I know Terry and Ian kind of shaved off a little bit of time there, and we appreciate that because I think it's pretty cool to get to know the drivers the way we do here on a Sunday night. Rick Thompson, he has been on fire lately, and I'll tell you what, man, he has got the pole here so far, and that is a quick time around this track, a 32.123. Collins, Kilroe right behind him. Walker decides he's going to qualify this week, sits in 4th spot here so far. Hayden Wheeler in the 4. He's also been doing very well as far as qualifying as of late.
The thing with qualifying though, Chris, you can qualify well, but if the car, when you're running in a group, I mean, I'm seeing a few cars maybe doing a little bit of side drafting, side by side and stuff like that, but everybody's kind of staying pretty much single file and away from each other. But you can qualify good and you can get a good hot lap in, but how does that car feel when you're running in the pack and you got cars in front of you, behind you, on the side of you, all trying to get that same bit of real estate? But you're absolutely right, having a good qualifying run here.
Yeah, it's look, this is going to be a very interesting race, and I believe that the setup is probably going to come to these guys, but at least at the beginning of this race, look, we've seen it. They're loose. There's no question about it. And the fact that they have to try and save that right front tire, it's going to affect these cars even more. Sorry for the slight distraction there. I'm just figuring out that I have some poison ivy on my arms, so got a little itchy going on there. Oh, 85.
Yeah, we gotta get you taken care of there, man.
Yeah.
That's not good.
No.
But what's McChesney doing?
McChesney, he got a little bit loose there. Came off the wall, able to save it up, but he was ahead of Ian Habiak. Habiak decides he's going to come on down pit road, maybe get 4 new tires before the end of this qualifying session ends. And we do have a top 3 that's changed around a little bit here, Rick. Dakota Todd, Jamie Walker, Dalton Kilroe, all taking spots away from Rick Thompson in the 76. Thompson now sits at 4th quickest. And Dakota Todd, once again, just putting down blistering lap times.
Well, Dakota Todd, I mean, he's been having outstanding, the last few weeks right up there towards the front, Chris. And usually it works for him, so we'll see what happens. I know that he's been trying very hard to win, and you're right, the top 3 have changed out a little bit there, and the big one is the guy who's sitting in 2nd position right now too, Jamie Walker. I mean, we just talked about him just a couple minutes ago, and usually he's one of those guys that at a big track like this maybe doesn't qualify, works his way up through the field, and he says it's to avoid the accidents, but what I really think it is I think he just likes to see how many cars he can pass in a night. But Jamie Walker taking over that 2nd position, Dalton Kilroe in 3rd. Big Daddy McRae, man, he's having a great night here, sitting in 4th right now with Perkins rounding out that top 5. So some good names for a lot of those guys who've been trying very, very hard to win here and get locked into that chase. But I think it's going to be real interesting as McChesney just tapped the wall again, Chris, there. So these guys definitely have to try to stay away from that outside wall. It's going to be very interesting here in Kansas.
Yeah, even the 88 just comes off the wall and going to try and roll it up before hitting the inside wall. Doesn't do it, so Walker going to have to get himself a fresh car to get back out there and try and keep going here in this qualifying session as Dalton Kilroe is taking it over from Dakota Todd. Rick Thompson still sitting in fourth spot, but just now back out on track to try and pick up a little bit more speed here. I'd like to see himself in the top 2 at least.
Driver stages.
And I think we've got Ethan's file loaded up. I think we're going to be good there. I know you all saw it happening, but sorry about that. Got to make sure we fulfill the obligations of Tim Habia. You know, he's a pretty okay guy, so I want to make sure he's happy with it.
It's going to be cool.
Don Kilroe, Dakota Todd, Jamie Walker, your quick 3 here so far during this qualifying session. Let's go back to 5th quickest. That's Nick Okie. Haven't talked about him yet tonight. And behind him on the speed chart, this man right here, Big Daddy, Brian McRae. Rick,
So we got,
I'm
come up with some new
yeah.
nickname. I think you're itching too much. What the problem is, you're worried about that itching, man. You need some calamine lotion or something. But we got big. You know, you got me all mixed up. Big Daddy Brian McRae, and you got Big Bad Brian Dees. A lot of B's there.
Yeah, Dees last week with a hell of a run. He really had a good race last week, and congratulations goes out to him.
And actually, I'm looking, Chris. I think he's actually might be missing.
Yeah,
here
I don't see him
the
there
17
tonight.
On track.
Yeah. And Brad Collins out there in his 22. So far, 11th quickest here in the qualifying session. 34 seconds left. How about this guy right here, Rick, the number 5 of Hank Caston. We know his backstory from last season. And, man, good to see him out there having a good time. Running in the top 15. 14th quickest so far here in qualifying.
And, you know, Mr. Caston, I mean, outstanding story, Chris. I mean, you know, God bless him and thank you, you know, for your service there, Hank. And, you know, you're always racing there for your brother, so that's pretty cool to see. But, you know, Hank Caston, he's due for a good run here, Chris. And he's been trying so hard, and he's been so close so many times. But, you know, things just haven't worked out for him there towards the late end of the races. And I think, you know, one of these days it's going to happen. It's definitely going to happen.
Yeah, I think so too. So far, we've got 24 drivers in the server, Rick. All 24 have taken a lap time, so a little different than some weeks here. We're kind of used to seeing a few drivers not bothering on the qualifying. This week, though, I think they're going to figure out pretty quick. Lap position, or track position, excuse me, very, very important here at Kansas.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, Chris. I mean, you know, we're getting further along into the season now. It is a long season. You know, we're going until mid-November. But, you know, the chase is coming up there in September. So these guys, they want to get locked in. And, you know, now is not the chance. You know, some of the guys who may have already won, they're already locked in. You would expect them to, you know, they could relax a little bit. But everybody right now just racing hard.
Yeah, absolutely. As qualifying has come to an end. And Dalton Kilroe going to be the guy with the hot shoe here tonight. Let's go ahead and get ready to grid him up.
Driver still engines.
Shoot. Well, I was going to try and get Ethan up there, but it's looking like, we'll do it a different way.
Driver still engines.
Driver, start your engines is the call from Ethan Habiuk as we qualified, and we'll go through the grid right now. Starting inside row number 1, it's going to be the 41 of Dalton Kilrow. To his outside, Jamie Walker in his number 88. Starting on the inside of row number 2, it's going to be the 63 of Dakota Todd. And to his outside, in 4th spot, it's going to be Rick Thompson in his number 76. Inside row number 3, it's going to be the 9 of Nick Okie. To his outside, Brian McRae in the 35. Inside row number 4, it's going to be the 4 of Hayden Wheeler with TBB, Taylor the Butcher Benjamin, to his outside. Inside row number 5, it's going to be the 33 of John Perkins, and to his outside, it's going to be Travis McChesney in the 85. Inside row number 6, Rick, it's going to be the 22 of Brad Collins, and to his outside, the 16 of Ian Habiot.
Inside row number 7, Chris, the 42, Kyle Wellman on his outside, the 5 of Hank Caston. Inside row number 8, the return of the 92 Old Woodside, Blake Decker, going to be starting there. Next to him on the outside, the 3 of Corey, the Shermanator Sherman. Row number 9 is going to consist of Derek Paulson in the 6 on the inside with Casey Campbell in the 73 on the outside. Row number 10, the 2, Jacob Hoppy. And on his outside, Terry Foster in the 86 Cheap Tobacco Machine. Row number 11 is going to consist of the 11 of Patrick Abrahamson on the inside with Corey Rutherford in the 55 on the outside. David Bennett in the 13 has qualified on the inside. Row number 12 on his outside, TNA Motorsports driver Aaron Bach over in the 44. And I think that's gonna be it, my friend.
That is going to be it as we get ready to go green for the first time tonight here on Turn 3 Racing Network, simulcasted on the Pride Outdoor Network. Green flag is out. Dalton Kilrow out front first. Kilrow leading the way in front of Jamie Walker and Rick Thompson. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, Dakota Todd, not Rick Thompson. Thompson in 4th spot. In his number 76, Nick Okie holds on to that 5th position. And Brian McRae may have been looking, not going to pull the trigger this time by, though, as the 35 stays in line. So already the top 2 drivers starting to pull away just a little bit. That's Dalton Kilrow and Jamie Walker. Then it's 0.5 of a second back to your second 2 drivers out there that are working in on package. Dakota Todd, Rick Thompson running 3 and 4.
And that's the crazy thing, Chris. The 2 drivers that have the most wins here so far are just leading this race and pulling away. Like you said, Dakota Todd just trying to figure it out there and trying to figure out what he's got to do. Rick Thompson right behind him. Might have slapped the wall a little bit because I see a little bit of, well, there's no damage, but he moved down quite a bit. And here comes Nick Okie in the 9, Chris. He's working on the inside of Thompson right now as they come down through the corner. We're going to be drag racing here a little bit, but it looks like, oh.
And
yeah, Okie took it over. Man, that was close.
That was very close for the 4th spot. Okie took it. Rick Thompson on the outside uses the momentum, digs back in with that 76, retakes 4th spot. And behind them, it is a gaggle of cars. Look at the 42, Kyle Wellman looking to the inside of Taylor the Butcher Benjamin and makes that pass happen. Now looking at the inside of the 4 car, the 42 of Wellman, trying to make things happen here on lap number 3.
Yeah, Wellman's got the Napa know-how right now, Chris. Now he's got his sights still on Hayden Wheeler. Not able to get by him quite yet, but of course, Big Daddy Brian McRae right there in the 35. But it looks like the 42 might be losing, well, maybe not. I was going to say losing a little speed, but he found it there as he came down through the corner and woo.
Woo, baby. Getting a little sideways is the 42. You know, in the movies, they say loose is fast, Rick, and the 42 definitely is fast right now. And yeah, there's no question. It's a little loose under the cockpit of that thing, man. Holy cow.
Definitely. And, there's one driver there that actually played it a little smart there. Brian McRae in the 35, Chris, he kind of backed off quite a bit. Now he's lost a couple of positions because of that, as Hayden Wheeler was able to get around him. And now we see the 10 of the Butcher and, of course, Blake Decker. They're working the inside right now of the Butcher. And here comes the Shermanator working that number 3 right up through the field now too.
Yeah, inside, starting to make some moves. Decker on the inside, along with Corey Sherman in the 3 car. And Sherman sticks it down underneath the 10 of Taylor the Butcher Benjamin, trying to make another pass is Corey Sherman. He's already worked his way up into the top 10, looking for more out of the 3 machine. So they may have to save tires a little bit, Rick, but that's not stopping some of these guys from getting a little racy here early on in this one. We're only on lap 6, and we've seen plenty of passing out there so far.
Yeah, I'm still watching Brian McRae going down another spot. Chris sitting now in 12th there as John Perkins in the 33 got around, and here comes Brad Collins in the 22. So Brian McRae in a little bit of trouble there on the outside, but, you know, what's nice about Kansas is, especially here tonight, is that there's 2 lanes that you can race, but right now that inside lane really working out for a lot of these drivers. Here comes Hoppy. Look at Hoppy in the 2.
And Jacob Hoppy still working that inside lane, trying to get on the inside of Brad Collins. Can't quite get there. Now he does, going into the corner. So Hoppy taking advantage of that inside lane, finding a little speed down there, trying to make the pass on the 22 of Brad Collins down underneath the apron, coming through the tri-oval. Still, though, Brad Collins holding that position for the time being, as Jacob Hoppy wasn't quite able to make the pass. Tries again, heading onto the backstretch. Again, Hoppy not able to gather up enough momentum to get around the 22. We'll see what happens going into turns 3 and 4. As Hoppy continues to run that inside line to his outside, it is the 22 of Brad Collins. And Collins just not giving it up, Rick.
Yeah, Collins just working very hard, Chris. He wants to keep that 12th position right now in that 22, and Hoppy finally gets onto the back bumper there and says, okay, I got to try to save a little bit, but, you know, 3 sets of tires, Chris, long race here. We still have 153 laps left to go, so a lot of racing here left in Kansas, and them tires are going to start screaming here pretty quick.
We do have stage racing here tonight, Rick. First stage going to end on lap number 48. Stage number 2 going to end on lap 96. And then it's a shootout to the end. But yeah, absolutely. We've got a lot of racing to go here with 152 laps on this 1.5 mile long track. So 152 laps to go. Hey, I think I have to try this early on here, Rick. I want to find a good group of cars that are really fighting. I'm going to do it right here. Taylor the Butcher Benjamin on the inside, Corey Sherman on the outside. Rick, I'm out for the first time tonight, and it probably won't be the last. Why don't we go ahead and turn it up?
Sounds like a good plan.
Well, that was a hell of a incident there, Rick, and I think you had it in from race control.
Yeah, race control is giving it to the 5, who's getting the EOL here, Chris. I mean, those guys doing a great job out there doing some 3-wide racing, which, of course, as you know, you can do it here at Kansas. It's wide enough to do it, but it gets a little squirrely out there. And, just looking at that track temperature right now, Chris, 119 degrees, so a little bit warmer than what it was during practice, and the air temperature 80, so pretty interesting.
And of course, coming off from pit road, we have a new race leader. Jamie Walker was able to beat Dalton Kilroe off, and he is now going to be your race leader. And we've seen the 88 make some very interesting decisions throughout the course of the year as far as restarts, Rick. Leaders do have the option, either the bottom lane or the top lane. I don't know which way the 88 is going to decide to go yet.
I mean, one thing about the 88, Chris, you don't have to worry about him. I mean, he could fall back all the way to the back right now. I mean, we're on lap, 16 of 161, so plenty of time for the Walker to work his way back up through the field. But, yeah, it's going to get interesting out there. I mean, it looks like he's thinking maybe the outside. Of course, the outside been very racy here tonight, but a lot of guys making a lot of good moves on the inside, so kind of it's really up in the air. I mean, Jamie, he's one guy that knows how his car races, how it feels, and where he feels comfortable. So we call him Mr. Restart for a reason.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so here we are under caution number 1. We've had some pretty big movements here so far during this race. But only one caution here so far at lap, 14, I believe it came out, 13, 14.
Yep.
So going to get it rolling here once again. As soon as the Ford Mustang puts those lights down, we'll only have a mile and a half to go before we go back under the green flag, and that should be happening right now. It does. Lights are off on the pace car, Rick. What do you got? And who's going to restart who here? Because the 88, we call him Mr. Restart. But the 41, he ain't too bad himself.
This is a pretty good matchup, Chris. Some very strong names there up in the top 4. Even, you start looking in 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, I mean, all the way down through. But Jamie Walker, Dalton Kilroe, they have this restart stuff figured out. And I know Dalton's liking the Oculus Rift there because he can kind of glance over and really catch when the 88 is going to take off. So it's going to be interesting. But you can't really throw out the 63, Dakota Todd. Rick Thompson right there behind Walker. So there's a lot of good guys out there, and we're going to see. I mean, I shouldn't. Turn 3 Racing Network engine. I'm going to give it to the 88, though.
Yeah, absolutely, and I am hearing that there is some lag issues. I'm looking, and it's not as bad as it was, Rick, so we're going to keep plowing through this one. I think we're going to be okay as signals kind of going up and down, but it's mostly staying up. I think we're going to be fine as we get ready to go back under the green flag. Ford Mustang peels off. The 41 on the inside of your race leader. The 88 of Jamie Walker. Walker hits the loud pedal, getting ready to go back and takes the green flag one more time.
And just as I predicted, Chris, the 88 got a really good run there, but Dalton Kilroe not fall behind. Kilroe, sitting there on that inside. Now he's putting the pressure on, and it looks like he's going to get it. That inside lane, very, very fast here.
The inside is quick, but the outside carries the momentum. So we are far from figuring out who is going to be your race leader here as these two cars go side by side once again. The outside.
I can hear Walker right now. No, son. I taught you everything I know, but I haven't taught you everything. There we go. The 88 takes a good, comfortable lead there. Gets in front of the 41, Chris. So the 41 down in the second position. Rick Thompson works his way up to third, but he's working. Rick Thompson into the wall. That's going to hurt there for the 76, my friend. 76 back down into the 20th position right now. And still going 21st. Dang it.
Yeah. Rubbing that wall definitely caused you to lose some speed, Rick, and the 76 falls all the way back to 22nd position. Take a look in on our top 10. In 10th spot, it's Nick Okie. And Collins. Brad Collins in the 22. Up on the wall himself, Rick, trying to dig it in, trying not to come off. He comes off. It's trouble. And it looks like it may have been the 42 that got into him. So Brad Collins was trying everything he could to try and stay on the wall, and it looked like it just kicked him off. Holy cow. Let's go back and take a peek. The 22 gets into the wall, and people are passing him on the underside, and you can see him. He is digging in, trying to hold that thing there, and then it just kind of kicks off the wall, and Kyle Wellman comes in with a 42 and just plants a big kiss on the back bumper of that Brad Collins number 22.
And you know, Chris, what I'm thinking there as I'm looking at a replay again here, the wall juts out just a little bit right where Brad Collins hit that American Ethanol banner that's on the wall, and that just kind of sent that Dodge just right into Kyle Wellman in the 42. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it really is. It's unfortunate for the 22. It's unfortunate for the 42 of Kyle Wellman. Wellman, we saw him earlier doing a fantastic job, and well, his night is probably going to be over. He comes down pit road with the hood up.
Of course, I just heard from race control, Chris, the 22 is going to be getting the EOL there, penalty on that one. So unfortunate for Collins because he tried to do everything that he possibly could, but there's just a little hump in the wall right there that just sent him right down into the track, and not much you can do there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So another caution here. Once again, we're on lap number 22. We got 140 laps left to go. Jamie Walker, not the guy that really wanted to see this caution come out, because he was starting to pull away there a little bit from Dalton Kilroe, but gonna get these guys lined back up. Of course, right now we are just following the pace car, and I'm thinking this time I'm gonna see Jamie Walker maybe go to the inside, and that's what he's looking like he wants to do right now, because he saw how fast that inside lane is, but we'll see. And right now, folks, we do know that we are getting some drop frames. So Chris is out there in his house trying to see if somebody is downloading or using up the internet there. We tested it before we went live and everything was good. So he is checking in on that right now. The lights are still on the pace car. Oh man, been a crazy night here. Now, of course, the track temperature now, it's getting interesting because now it's actually dropping now. If you folks don't know, you know, even a couple of degrees on the track will make the car feel different while it's out there running across the surface. And now it's, you know, it was 119, now 108 degrees. So starting to cool off here a little bit. I don't know if we're totally done with that heating up yet, though. We'll see as the laps continue on. Right now, Jamie Walker's still looking there on the inside. I'm guessing that's probably where he's going to want to restart. You saw how good Dalton Kilroe was, like I said earlier. And he's been seeing how fast that inside lane is, so I think it would be very, very smart for him to take the restart there. I want to thank everybody out there tonight in the Turn 3 Racing Network YouTube land. You see out there, if you want to chat us up, we will definitely talk to you there. Of course, right now, Chris has stepped away to try to find the issue here, but it looks like it's smooth out there a little bit, but bouncing a little bit, so we're checking that out here, folks. We apologize for that inconvenience, and if you are watching us out there on the Pride Outdoor Network, welcome to the Blazing Pedals TRJKarting.com KNN series, broadcast live every Sunday night here on the Turn 3 Racing Network on YouTube, and of course now with our partnership with the Pride Outdoor Network. We appreciate that. If you guys haven't yet, make sure you go to the Pride Outdoor Network and give them a like on Facebook. And check them out. Download it on your TV. If you have a smart TV, man, or an Amazon Fire Stick or Chromecast, anything like that, just get that downloaded. A lot of cool shows. I got a chance to watch some this week there while it was raining here in Vermont. It's definitely a favorite here, a family favorite. And now the lights are off on the pace car, so 1.5 miles around this track, and we are going to let these horses fly once again. And it looks like it has been confirmed that Jamie Walker and the 88 TRJKarting.com Chevy Impala are going to be starting on the inside with Dalton Kilbrough and the Daddios. Impala looking to start on the outside. Right behind Jamie Walker is going to be the 63 of Dakota Todd. In third, Blake Decker, the old Woodside there, 92. We missed you last week, Blake. Good to see you back out there, buddy. He's going to be restarting in fourth. Hayden Wheeler in the four, going to be restarting in fifth position. Next to him, the 33 of John Perkins. And in seventh, you got Nick Okie, Taylor the Butcher Benjamin, Derek Paulson, and Jacob Hoppy going to be rounding out that top 10. I know you guys haven't seen it yet, but the green flag is out. Jamie Walker gets a really good restart there, pulling away from Dalton Kilbrough right now. Dalton Kilbrough getting some pressure from Dakota Todd in that number 63 machine. But Kilbrough able to move down on the inside, trying to take that away. And now Dalton Kilbrough running that inside lane. We've seen a lot of speed down there tonight. And caught right up to the back bumper there of Jamie Walker. But Dalton Kilbrough not done. He wants to lead some more laps here. So far, Walker has led 13 laps and Kilbrough has led 12. And that's where we stand as of right now. 2 lead changes between those guys, having fun. But Jamie Walker knows exactly where Kilbrough wants to go. You see Walker move down below that white line to go through as they come in turn 1 and 2. First through fourth kind of going nose to tail right now. Then there's a little gap in between Blake Decker and Hayden Wheeler. Hayden Wheeler sitting in 5th place in that number 4 Mopar machine. But I don't think he's going to be there for too long, because I can tell you, Taylor the Butcher Benjamin right behind him trying to catch up a little bit and see what he can do. But right now these guys doing everything they can to try to pull. Ooh, Blake Decker into the wall, hanging on to it. Blake Decker was having a good run there within the top 3. And this is something that we've seen most of the night here tonight. You got to be very careful when you, a lot of guys like to run close to that wall, and when you're doing that, you know, you got to be careful with the safety barriers. They come out just a little bit, the car will suck right into them, and well, we know what happens because we saw that. So Blake Decker falls back a few positions there. Right now Decker showing in 17th position, Dalton Kilbrough in 2nd, Dakota Todd in 3rd, but not for long. Dakota Todd starting to peak on the inside there, got a really good run off the corner. And not able to complete it, so he gets to the back bumper there of Dalton Kilbrough. But as they come down into turns 3 and 4, oh, he's not going to do it. He's just going to hang out there for a little bit there. Now, this is something that we're not used to really seeing, and actually one cool thing that is going on is Dalton Kilbrough move way to the outside there. Let Dakota Todd go. Now, I know exactly what is on Dalton Kilbrough's mind right now, Chris. It is that he wants to save that equipment as much as he can, so he doesn't want to waste it trying to race Dakota Todd for 2nd place. He's in it for the long haul right now.
Yeah, I believe you're right, Rick. Look, I have looked into it, and I even ran a speed test. This is not a network issue. This is something going on software side, and without stopping the stream. There's really not much I can do about it. So that is in the works of being fixed too, though, Rick, as we know. We're probably going to be changing our overlays here pretty soon, and I believe that's exactly what's going on here tonight. I believe ATVO giving me a problem here tonight. That's the program that we use to bring you the overlays here so you can keep up with all the action, ladies and gentlemen. And unfortunately, it's starting to get a little old in the tooth, as they say, and it's causing some issues. But nonetheless, here we are. And I think by and large, it's decent out there based on what I'm seeing. There are some skips and hiccups out there, but it seems to be pretty solid right now, Rick. And speaking of solid, how about your race leader, the 88 of Jamie Walker, as he is out front once again. 88 has led 19 laps here tonight. Dalton Kilroe has led 12. They're the only two drivers to lead a laps here tonight at Kansas.
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit, Chris, and while you were searching for the issue there, Jamie Walker made a surprise move and he actually restarted on the inside there, and it really worked out for him because Dalton Kilroe wasn't able to really make much of that outside lane there at the restart, but you know, Dalton was hanging on very strong there for second position, and Blake Decker was sitting there in third, or fourth, I'm sorry, because Dakota Todd was in third there, but Blake Decker got into the wall there a little bit, was able to hold it off. Right now, Blake Decker had to fall back, but he's working his way back up through now in 15th position. But you know, just a little while ago, a couple laps ago, I heard over the radio that Dalton said, you know, Todd, if you want it, buddy, you can take it. I'm going to give it to you. And you know, Dakota Todd right now having fun in second place. He's starting to look on the inside a little bit there of Jamie Walker in the 88 machine. And Dalton's just kind of hanging out. And I know exactly. I mean, Dalton's very, very smart when it comes to strategy, and he's trying to save his equipment. He's up in the top three. That's a good place to be. He's already locked into the chase. So, of course, if he gets anything for any of the stages, that's going to go to playoff points. So, you know, it's definitely going to help him out. But he doesn't want to burn up the equipment too fast. And he's just having fun there in third.
Well, a lot of it right now, Rick, you want to keep a very good handle on that right front tire. The best way to do that is to be a little higher up on track. And unfortunately, we've seen that bite a few drivers here tonight. And Jamie Walker just came off that corner a little bit sideways, and that almost allowed the 63 to take the inside lane. In fact, right now, he is taking a peek down low. So Dakota Todd in the 63 may be looking for the race lead. Didn't take it that time, and Jamie Walker scoots himself down under the apron through the tri-oval. Again, just trying to keep that right front tire safe and trying to keep those lines as straight as possible.
Yeah, I mean, these guys, they got it figured out, Chris. And, you know, I think if Dakota Todd in the 63 works on it for a few laps, he's going to be able to make a pass there on the inside. But, of course, like we just talked about, he's going to burn up the tires. And that's something that is probably on his mind, too. I mean, Dakota Todd, another guy. I mean, all these guys, they know how to race, Chris. And, you know, but when you're that close to taking over the lead, it's hard to make that decision of saying, I think I'm going to back off just a little bit. But both these guys having a good time out here, doing the lines pretty much the same. So I think this is the way that it's going to be for a little bit now. The only thing that bad could happen, I see Jamie Walker running very high, and we've seen it already a couple times tonight, Chris. The car stuck into the wall, but these guys are staying just a far enough away. I don't think that might be too much of a worry.
All right, well, lap 37 of 61. That means about 11 laps as they cross the line. 11 laps, Rick, before we fall into the first scheduled caution here tonight at Kansas for the end of stage number 1. And some of these guys are definitely going to be wanting some tires. And some of them are going to choose to stay on those old tires. It's just a matter of pit strategy. They're going to lose a little bit on the front side of the race to hopefully be there at the end of the race. I do want to give a shout out, though. Look at this. Running in 11th position right now. It is the 86 of Terry Foster. He's doing exactly what he needed to do, Rick. Come in here, have a very good race. Top 15, top 10 if he can squeeze it out. Up front, Dakota Todd has gone around Jamie Walker for the race lead, so we'll chalk it up to 3 different race leaders here tonight at Kansas. Dakota Todd has led 2 now as we are ending stage 1, Rick. Just 8 laps to go. And Todd looking to try and get up there and stay up there, try and win this one. Nick Okie trying to climb into the top 3. Look at Okie go as he was taking a look to the inside of Hayden Wheeler. The 4 car out there, Hayden Wheeler running in the top 3, Jamie Walker running 2nd spot, and Dakota Todd, your front runner as of right now. Taylor the Butcher Benjamin, he's running in the 5th spot. Dolan Kilroy has fallen back to 6th position, and you never know what is going through the mind of Dolan Kilroy. This could be all part of his strategy. You just don't know, but we do know that he would like to win 2 races back to back. Oh, the 9 looks like he may have scrubbed into the wall just a little bit, and now goes down to the inside of Hayden Wheeler. Yeah, damage to the right front of the 9 car, but not slowing him down at all as Nick Okie looks to put a position down. Oh no, he's tight. Oh man, and here comes Taylor the Butcher Benjamin, gonna try and make it. Almost 3 wide there for a moment. My gosh, these guys are racing hard here, Rick.
They are, Chris. And, I think Okie saw that they were going 3 wide, probably heard his sponsor say 3 wide. And he was like, oh, I'm going to hang off a little bit. I wouldn't worry about too much about Kilroy. We've seen him do this many a times, Chris. He's just trying to save, keep that 41 nice and clean. I'm sure the tires are definitely worn. Now we're on lap 43 of 161. So, he's just going to hang back, do what he has to do. And you're right. I think he would love to win back-to-back. Ooh, the Butcher. And Okie, man, that was close. Holy cow.
Lap number 44 being worked right now by your race leader, which again is Jamie Walker. So Todd was able to lead some laps, but Walker puts the pedal down and gets around him, and right now has a 0.4 of a second lead over Dakota Todd. Jamie Walker, your race leader, lap number 45, about 3 laps to go, Rick, before we see the caution flag come out. It'll be at the end of lap number 48 when we see it fly. And Jamie Walker is going to desperately try and win that one. Only 1 driver so far, Rick, has called it a night, and unfortunately it's the number 2, Jacob Hoppy. Looks like Kyle Wellman going to be coming down pit road for a little early service. Time Orozco. Golf is not more important than racing, but it's good to see you out there, brother.
With that new camouflage paint scheme, Chris, I thought he was still out there.
So it's Walker, Todd, and Wheeler. Oh, just as I say that, here comes Derek Polson pushing to the 3rd spot. The 6th starting to wake up here late into the first stage.
All about them points, baby.
It really is, and you can tell as Polson just drops the hammer trying to get around, and finally does get around the 4 of Hayden Wheeler. A slow car down on the bottom. That's the 42 of Kyle Wellman. He was just on pit road taking service. So he is being scored 2 laps down right now. In the 23rd spot, in 22nd spot, it's Aaron Bockover. Bockover, the only other car, 1 lap down, being scored 22nd. And this lap, Rick, is going to be the one that ends the stage. Right now, it looks like Jamie Walker is going to own the stage. And why not? He's led 30 laps here so far. Ooh. The 20 is saving fuel. Or excuse me, the 88 is saving fuel. Yeah, he is definitely saving fuel. He just shut it down across the line. The 88 is your stage 1 winner. There it is. Caution comes out. So stage 1 winner, the 88 of Jamie Walker.
And I'm trying to listen in. He may be out of fuel.
Yeah, that could be huge.
Oh, we know about 48 or so laps.
He's got fuel. He just heard it start up. But he might be very, very close.
If it's not Jamie, I can't. Now I'm listening into the driver chat, Chris, but I don't see the names. But
Jamie is definitely saving fuel. He's worried about making it around the track one more time here under caution to try and bring it down pit road, and that is not good. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take a little break here. Going to go side by side so that you don't miss.
I just want to break in real quick, Chris. It looks like the 33 of Perkins is the driver that is out of fuel, and possibly Travis McChesney also.
Oh boy, so we may have a 2 out there that are out of fuel, and that is going to hurt their chances here tonight. And like I said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go side by side here so you don't miss any of the action here at the TRJKarting.com Blazing Pedals Series. Back live here after the end of stage number 1, and now we kick into stage number 2. Stage number 2 going to end at lap number 96. But first, let's go ahead and talk to our stage 1 winner, and that is going to be the 88 of Jamie Walker. Jamie, this is Chris and Rick up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you guys. Go ahead.
Well, 33 laps led here so far. Stage 1 in the books. You came across the line first, and I heard you saving fuel. How close were you?
I ran out in my pit stop.
In your pit stop. Okay, well, that's pretty close. You're going to try. Well, actually, so we had a couple of cautions there. That probably helped you make it. If there's no cautions here in the second one, it's going to have to be a pit stop for you, right?
Oh, yeah, guaranteed. I'm going to try and stretch this one out as far as I can here and see what I can do here.
All right, bud. Well, congratulations here on winning stage 1. Anybody on the 88 that you need to thank?
My number 1 fan, Skittles. You know where she is.
Yes, sir, brother. All right, my friend. Good luck out there for stage number 2 and the rest of the race, Jamie.
Thanks, guys.
Jamie Walker, driver of the 88, winning stage number 1. And now, Rick, we've got a new race leader. It's Derek Paulson in the 6 car.
Yeah, Paulson's sitting there in that number 1 position, but Kind of interesting, you know. Right now he's been running around high. Now I don't know if that's just because he wants to, but it looks like he might be giving Walker the inside lane. And let me tell you, I don't know if that's going to be good. Now, just looking down through the pit stops, Chris, I see a few guys who may or may not have taken tires. I'm not going to mention their names yet until we get green. But I also see a lot of guys there with old tires, so that's something that these drivers really got to think of when they're restarting here. I mean, the track temperature has cooled down a little bit, 103 degrees right now. But you get on it too hard, you're going to spin, and that's just going to bunch up the field. And, well, we've seen what happens when that happens.
Yeah, we've definitely seen that. Unfortunately, we've had a second driver not able to finish here tonight. Blake Decker in the 92, calling it a day, loading it into the hauler as the pace car lights are still on after the end of stage number 1. And remember, stage 2 ends on lap number 96 here tonight. And so far, Jamie Walker has been the best of the best, leading 33 laps. Derek Paulson is going to take that outside lane. Jamie Walker to the inside. Then it's going to be Hayden Wheeler in the third spot. The 41 comes on up to pick up fourth, and that's Dalton Kilroe. And it's going to be the 10 of Taylor, the Butcher Benjamin, and to his outside, it's going to be Corey Sherman. There's your top 6 as we get ready to go back under the green flag here once again at Kansas. And Rick already mentioned it, track temperature starting to come down a little bit. That'll certainly help a little bit in that right front tire situation, as long as that track temperature stays where it is. Now, when these guys have a long green flag run, it may come up a little bit again. But so far, they're doing a fantastic job. There's been a couple of guys that got into the wall, and I got to kind of blame that right front again. But we're going to see if that continues or if that lessens here as the race continues on. And speaking of continuing on, we're working through turns 3 and 4 right now. Pace car going to come on down pit road. We're going to get these things going one more time. Derek Paulson takes control of the field, hits the loud pedal. Here we go. Back under the green flag again here on a Sunday night.
And Paulson got a good restart there, Chris, with the 88. Jamie Walker, that inside lane, man. The 88 loves it, so jumped up to the lead there. I'm not sure exactly what was going on with Dalton Kilroe. I think he was still trying to clean his tires off a little bit there as these guys took off, but right now he's doing good. Derek Paulson right now has fallen back into third position as the 4 of Hayden Wheeler takes over second, Chris. And look at that. The number 3 sitting in fourth position. And that now actually working on the inside lane there of Paulson. So Shermanator in the 3 takes over third position, man. He's out here to race tonight.
Corey Sherman and the 3 car take over that third spot. Derek Paulson has fallen back to fourth. And Rick, I don't think it's a secret now. Derek Paulson, not one of those drivers that took tires during that pit stop. We're going to see how badly that hurts him as this run progresses. But right now, Derek Paulson so far has been able to hold on to the 4th spot after restarting on the pole. The Butcher right behind him in 5th position, looking at his pit stop, did not take tires. So the 10 and the 6 running the same strategy. Makes sense. They're teammates after all.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Chris. Now, of course, Jamie Walker, Hayden Wheeler, Corey Sherman have taken tires.
Oh, the 10 gets into the wall. TBB hops up into the wall, and there's a bunch of drivers there poised to go right around him. And they're almost lining up for him. Look at the freight train happening, including Wellman in the 42. Wellman trying to fight back.
And now we got some free-wide racing with Ian Habiak in the, Wellman just peeled off down pit road. I think that was a safe thing to do. Holy cow.
Wellman mowing the lawn a long distance out there. Going to come back out on track, though. So loses a little bit of time, but doesn't lose the car again. That's the most important thing. And I just want to throw this out there. Holy goodness, look at the 4th spot runner. It's the 86. Our man Terry Foster out there running in 4th spot. Terry's got some fresh tires, and he is making good work out of those things.
Yeah, he definitely is. I didn't want to mention it too much, Chris, but I was watching him come down through the field, and actually when you said the 10 got into the wall, Foster was actually running next to him. I was like, oh no, and I kept looking. I'm like, wait, where did Foster go? Well, he jumped up the 5th, now sitting in 4th, trying to catch up to his teammate who's sitting in 3rd there, the Savage Edge Graphics number 3 of Corey Sherman. Make sure you guys head on over if you need any kind of apparel or stickers done to Facebook and look up Savage Edge Graphics or go to their website. I got some cool stuff from them, that's for sure.
So Corey Sherman in third spot. Jamie Walker, your race leader. Hayden Wheeler running in second, about 0.6 of a second behind your race leader of Jamie Walker. Of course, we know Corey Sherman in third, Terry Foster in fourth, but here comes the 63 in fifth spot, and that is Dakota Todd. Todd has managed to lead about 5 laps here tonight, and he is another one of those drivers on those fresh tires. Right now, top 5 drivers all have fresh tires. The first one that doesn't is the 6 car, and he is running in 6th position. The car ahead of him, the 85, is Travis McChesney. He's the first car 1 lap down.
You know, we just talked about Paulson, Chris. There's another guy who just broke into the top 10, Ian Habiak, and that's 16 TRJKarting.com Toyota Camry. He had about a 12.7 second pit stop, so I'm not sure. It might have taken 2, or maybe just filled that tank up really good for fuel.
Maybe had some repair damage that he did, something. But I know this, the 13 of David Bennett works the inside of Ian, and Bennett looking to try and go around. He does. Good move out of David Bennett to get around Ian Habiak and get into the 7th spot. Bennett, one of those drivers on the the 41 hard into the wall, and he's got it stuck like glue up there. The 9 of Nick Okie did a good job getting around him. It was close, but Dalton Kilroe finds the wall in his Chevy and now has to get it back up to speed. Here comes Patrick Abrahamson trying to put him down yet another position, the 11 on the outside. Dalton Kilroe seems to be just about back up to speed, but not enough to defend against the 11 of Abrahamson.
And here comes Rick Thompson kind of catching up to the back bumper, but Dalton Kilroe doesn't have much damage there on the 41, Chris. There is some right side crinkles in the door, but I think he's going to be okay. Just maybe lost his mojo there for a minute as Rick Thompson works the outside and gets around Dalton Kilroe. Dalton Kilroe right now sitting in 11th position.
So good battles going back here about mid-pack. Aaron Bockover, who started tail end of the field, involved in the first incident, is still on the lead lap in his number 44. And in fact, he's made up some ground here, Rick. He's running 14th position. He's got the 22 of Brad Collins right behind him for position, the 55. That's Corey Rutherford. He is down 1 lap, running in 18th spot. Check in on your race leader, Jamie Walker. His lead now 1 second. And we know that he said he was going to try and stretch the fuel out, Rick, and right now he's building up a pretty solid lead here. You can't do both. You can't build up a solid lead and save fuel. So it'll be we're going to have to see what's going on in the mind of Jamie Walker. We know he's got something planned. He always does. And we're going to have to see what it is here out of the 88 machine.
You know, in a way, I think he's kind of playing it smart, Chris. He's, you know, using this early stint to go through, gain as much gap as he possibly can. Then he can start saving even a little bit more because he won't have to worry about it too much. But, you know, only Jamie Walker knows exactly what's going on. But he's a smart racer, so I think he's going to be okay.
Hayden Wheeler in 2nd spot, Corey Sherman in 3rd. It's about 1.2 seconds from Jamie Walker to Hayden Wheeler, and about 2.5 seconds from Hayden Wheeler to Corey Sherman. So Wheeler is definitely up on the wheel here tonight, getting it done in his 4 machine. Dakota Todd was able to get around Terry Foster. Todd now runs in the 4th position. Terry Foster in the top 5. And his number 86. Just trying to keep it nice and smooth here tonight, Rick, and I think he's going to have a good finish if he can continue that trend.
Well, you know, as you heard at the beginning of the broadcast when we're doing the grid walk, I gave him a little pep talk, Chris, and he's using that. And Terry really doesn't need that pep talk because let me tell you, Mr. Pasta has put in the work during the off season when we transitioned from the trucks back to the K&N Arctic cars, and it's showing. And for the first few races of the season, he was doing a heck of a job. And then the bad luck just started to happen. He's got a new car, a new paint, and it's looking pretty good out there. I think he's going to do all right.
David Bennett in the 13, running in 6th position. Derek Paulson in the crisp IPA Dr. Squatch Top Flight Computers machine, sitting in the 7th position. His teammate Terry the Butcher Benjamin, who is already locked into the chase, running in 8th position. In 9th, it's going to be the kid Ian Habiak running his 16. TRJKarting.com racing for a cure machine out there in 9th position. And Nick Okie in his 9, he is rounding out that top 10. Then we've got Dalton Kilrow, Rick Thompson in the 41 and 76. They're doing battle on track right now. Brad Collins in the 22, running in 14th position. Brad is the last vehicle on the lead lap. Patrick Abrahamson is the first car 1 lap down in his number 11. Casey Campbell in the 73, 1 lap down, running in 16th spot. Travis McChesney 1 lap down, running in 17th. And they're great. Corey Rutherford in the 55. He's running 2 laps down in the 18th position with John Perkins in the 33. Behind him in 19th, also 2 laps down. And along with him, Hank Caston in the 5 car, running in the top 20. Kyle Wellman, we've seen all kinds of problems for Wellman, but he is hanging strong there. 2 laps down, 21st position for Kyle, with Big Daddy Brian McRae running in the 22nd position, 2 laps down, last car running. And right behind him, Rick, look out, because it's the 88, your race leader, looking to put some guys a lap down. Again, it's Okie first. Then it's going to be the 44 of Aaron Backover, who's in 12th position. And the 88 sticks it down, continues on the low side around the 35 now to put him yet another lap down. Brian McRae now down 3.
Now, Walker's just on a tear right now, Chris, doing everything he knows how to race, and he's going to tell us that he doesn't like this track, but obviously he does, or the track likes him, one of the two. But doing a great job out here so far, leading 51 laps here tonight, 52 laps here tonight. Dalton Kilrow has led 12, Dakota Todd 5, Derek Paulson 4.
Oh, the 88 goes around the 41 machine of Dalton Kilrow. Kilrow's in 10th spot, so only the top 9 drivers right now, Rick, are on the lead lap. Now, look, some of this is pit road strategy. Some of this is we didn't come down and take tires. We know we're going to go a lap down. We're going to get it back later when we have tires, and they don't. Those guys up ahead of us. And I think that's a lot of what we're seeing right now. But 9 drivers on the lead lap. Come on, Jamie Walker. The last driver on that lead lap is the teammate of Jamie Walker, the 16, the kid, Ian Habiak out there. And Ian was on pit road for about 12.7 seconds. Our thoughts, Rick, are I think they're still, he didn't take tires. He probably had some repair damage that he had to take care of. And that put him on pit road for just a little extra time. But Ian right now continues to be on the lead lap. Taylor the Butcher Benjamin also did not take tires. He is position number 8. Derek Paulson, position 7, did not take tires. Everybody else, 1st through 6, did.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of, you look at the scoring, Chris, you see like guys like Dalton Kilrow in the 41 sitting in 12th position right now, 1 lap down. Well, yeah, Dalton, he's got a little pit strategy going on. He's on them old tires, and like you said, he'll get it back.
Dalton has been extremely good at the stage racing stuff with the limited tires that they're allowed to have here. I don't know that you can say there's been anybody better out there as far as pit road strategy this season than the 41, Rick. And we're going to see if he can do it again here and make it back-to-back race wins.
And, as a driver, Chris, I mean, we've been out of the cockpit there for a little while, but as a driver, when you start going backwards, it's hard because, Hillroad knows what his strategy is, and he's executing it right now. But for a lot of people, they get discouraged. And when you get discouraged, you start making mistakes. And when you start making mistakes, you start packing your stuff up into the hauler because it ain't good. But, Dalton's got that figured out. We talked to him earlier. The trucks he kind of struggled with. He wasn't very, he likes the trucks, but he doesn't love the trucks. And they, weren't his type of racing. We came back to the K&N/ARCA cars. And he's improved so much. And a lot of that is practice, but it's also a car that he enjoys to drive. He knows how to drive it, how it acts and reacts. And he's making some good moves out there.
And while you were talking, Rick, we watched the 88 get around his teammate Ian Habiuk. So Habiuk joins the list of cars 1 lap down or more. Ian Habiuk in the 16 running 9th spot. Your first car 1 lap down. Check in on the 4 of Hayden Wheeler. And Wheeler has been a wheelman all night long. He is sitting in that 2nd spot, Rick, having a fantastic night in his number 4. Good to see Mopar doing well.
And Hayden, a great racer, Chris, just hasn't had the luck so far this season. So it's good to see that tonight during the 2nd stage, he is enjoying himself out there in a great position to be in. And the same goes for a couple of the guys out there. I mean, Corey Sherman been up and down all season long under his new paint scheme. He's out here to race tonight, sitting in 3rd. And there's our man, Terry Foster, our grid walk boy. I almost want to say go Mikey. We need to change Terry's name to Mikey, I think. Because I'm proud of him right now. He's sitting in 4th, doing a heck of a job
out there. Baby, did he come off that corner loose, Rick? He came off sideways, able to hold on to it, though. It was Terry Foster. Oh, man, that was heartbreaker right there, or could have been.
It could have been.
Holy Lord.
But let me tell you something. So, Terry and I talked quite a bit, after the race, Chris, and, throughout the week and stuff. And he goes, whenever you're talking about me too much, I'm going to do something silly on track so you know. So, okay, he's sitting in 3rd, having a good run. That's all I'm saying now. Ooh, we got some green flag pit stops happening here, Chris.
Yeah, I was wondering if it was going to start happening here. Lap 81 is being worked right now. This stage going to end on lap 96, and we know if they go green, they are not going to make it on fuel, Rick. So green flag stop's definitely going to happen. And as a result of that, look who's reading the race. Oh my, it's our good guy, the 86 of Terry Foster. I love it.
That's one of my better paint, I have to say. I will admit that I have painted that car, Chris, but that is the one that I'm pretty much the most happiest with so far. That thing just looks mean out there on track now. If you would just change the number font, use the colors that I told him, it'd be immaculate, but looking good.
Good
and Terry
stuff.
Foster pulls into his pits there. Now he's ready to get service on that 86 cheap tobacco machine.
Yeah, the 13 who was running in 2nd also comes down pit road, and that's going to give the lead right back to Jamie Walker. Here tonight, make it 2 for 2. And Tim out there, yeah, we keep apprised of what's going on with our racing family, and I'm glad to hear that she's doing better. Hopefully she continues to heal. Well, Jamie Walker out there on fuel only, that stop. Don't want to give it away, but going to have to at this point because that was a really quick stop, Rick. Just 7.8 seconds in his pit stall.
It's funny, Chris, because, as we're watching the race just kind of, go through the motions here with the green flag pit stop, like, I looked up and I'm like, Aaron Bockover has 32 laps in this stint. I'm like, the 44 has worked very hard to get back up towards where he is. I hope he comes down soon, but he did. He just came down. He's got some fuel heading back out there to the racing surface there. So good on the Busch machine of Aaron Backover.
Yeah, he's definitely working hard. I mean, look, he was part of that very first incident we had out there tonight. And the 44 not really showing a lot of damage, but that incident did slow him up a little bit. If he can get back up to speed, there's no reason to think that that TNA driver can't get back up towards the front.
You know, that just shows a lot on the racecraft and the respect that Aaron Backover has. You know, a lot of guys, Chris, when they get into something like that, you know, these guys have no fast repairs. So once their car's done, their car's done. And, you know, a lot of drivers, including myself, I've done it a few times. You know, you just get frustrated. You say, you know what, guys, I'm out. I'm packing it up. I'm going home. And I'll meet you at the Waffle House. But Aaron Backover gets back out there, lets his crew repair that damage whenever he can, and makes the race and just trying to get those laps, because every point and every lap matters.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the 10 gets around to the 88, Rick, and that means the Butcher finds himself at the tail end of the race lead. Finally gets that lap back, and the next guy behind is the 76, also looking to do the same thing. Has to get around Jamie Walker before the end of the stage. Well, I guess he doesn't have to, right?
Doesn't have to, no.
Because he is set up to, he's going to. Holy cow, is he going to. The 76 with a strong move to the inside. Thompson now rejoins the lead lap, guys. And Dalton Kilrow right behind your race leader. It looks like Kilrow may have gotten some tires that time by, as he's found new life under the hood of the 41.
Yeah, that's what, you know, we talked about it, and that's kind of what we expect there from Dalton. He did a good job, and now he's back on the lead lap doing it the old-fashioned way. But I got to put this out here, Chris, okay? Because Terry Foster's still in the top 5, and this is the last time I'm going to talk about Terry. But if Terry finishes in the top 5, I'm going to go buy some White Claws, and I will drink the White Claw, because I picked on him about it the other day when he posted that picture. So that is what I am saying. So Terry Foster on lap 89, come in the top 5, I will buy a White Claw, and I will drink it. Just for you.
I will not.
If I came over with one and I put it in a water bottle and I gave it to you on a hot day, you would drink it.
Probably, because it's about what it tastes like.
That's what I've heard. But you know, so I don't know.
I don't know for sure. I'm just assuming, Rick.
No, you just said that's what it tastes like, so you know. At the White Claw, it's okay. There's no laws when you're drinking the Claw, brother.
Okay. Lap 90, stage going to end at the end of lap 96. Ian Habiuk sits in 11th spot. He's the first car, one lap down, so currently being scored as your lucky dog. And it looks like Ian may have taken tires that last time in, Rick. A little bit slow, though, at 15 seconds in the stall.
Well, again, Chris might have had a little extra damage there, so his dad, of course, you know, Ian, the last few weeks there, hasn't had his dad, his live spotter in the channel, so Ian kind of got it figured out. And I was kind of wondering, I wanted to ask him about that earlier, how he feels about having his dad back. And, you know, I mean, did the pressure come off when dad wasn't there? Is the pressure back now that dad's back and expects a little more out of him? That's a good question.
This is going to be a good race. We've only gotten, well, we're past halfway. We got 71 laps to go. There's been action on just about every lap if you're looking for it. And these guys, the cars are really coming into the track. And, you know, that's one of the things. Mark Arthur is the one that puts out the setup for these cars every single week. And we know that every single week they usually start off a little bit on the loose side, and then they'll gradually tighten up and be just about perfect towards the end of the race. And it looks like he's done it again, as these cars have really started to set down into the track now, Rick, especially when those tires are on the newer side. Now look, if you have old tires, you are going to be loose. There's nothing you can do about that. But on those newer tires, man, is that car sitting down perfect.
Oh, it is. And I mean, that puts a lot of false security in drivers too. I mean, the guys know that they can't go out there, because you feel like Superman. It feels like you have a brand new car and you go out there and you try to make some crazy moves. These guys, they're pro, man. They know what they're doing. And a lot of them take it easy, and they know that they got to get them tires warmed up, get them scuffed up a little bit before they can really push them. But Tires makes all the difference, man. You gotta have them. That's why they call them Dr. Feelgoods.
Dakota Todd sitting in second spot. So Todd, who's led about 5 laps here tonight, kind of fell through the field, has worked his way back up into second. That puts Hayden Wheeler into third position. Corey Sherman sits in that 4th position in his TNA number 3. Derek Paulson in the 5th position, Rick, with Terry Foster slipping just a little bit to 6th. Taylor the Butcher Benjamin in 7th. Rick Thompson in the 76, running 8th. Dalton Kilroe 9th. David Bennett in his number 13 round out the top 10. And it looks like Brad Collins was able to get around Ian Habiak to be the first car 1 lap down here. He's running in 11th spot with Ian in 12th. Patrick Abrahamson is several laps down, getting around the 16 right now, but we are getting ready to end stage number 2 here as the 88 looks to cross the line. It's going to be a mile and a half now, Rick, before he is the stage 2 winner, if he can just hold on to it.
Well, I mean, unless he really runs out of fuel, Chris, I don't think there's going to be a problem there. I mean, Jamie Walker doesn't make too many mistakes out there on track. He is doing the Kyle Larson thing, keeping it right up close to that wall, though, that outside lane. But he feels very comfortable up there, so.
Well, he came down pit road, 14 15 laps ago?
Yeah.
So chance of running out of fuel, not too good. As he crosses the line, stage 2 winner is going to be Jamie Walker. So Walker has now led stage 1 and stage 2. And it's a big points night here tonight for Jamie Walker and his number 88.
There's going to be a lot of things going through a lot of drivers' minds. Like, man, this guy, I mean, Jamie Walker is good. There's no doubt. Nobody's saying that he's not. But, you know, he's playing some mind games right now, Chris. I mean, very dominant here tonight, leading 73 laps so far of this race. We're on lap 97 of 161. So he's putting the pressure on the boys, and he's saying, okay, I'm showing you how to get around here. Let's do it.
Yeah,
man, he's having
absolutely.
it. I guarantee he's smiling right now.
Oh, yeah. And why wouldn't he be?
Because of Jamie Walker, he's just going to be like, yep, did it again. That's what I love about Jamie.
True enough. And ladies and gentlemen, since we are at the end of stage number 2, we're going to step away for just a moment and pick up a commercial from our sponsor, trjkarting.com.
TRJKarting.com is your #1 online source for karting components, engines, and safety gear. They have a huge selection for the novice to the professional and a dedicated section for sim racers. No matter how you do it, your desire and passion to go fast fuels them. Their focus is to put their customers into victory lane. Make sure you check them out at TRJKarting.com and give them a like on Facebook.
And make sure you do check out TRJKarting.com as our stage number 2 winner, Jamie Walker, going to be lining up here in the 3rd spot. Rick, we've already talked to him once. Don't really need to go out there and talk to him again. I think we know exactly what his plan is for the rest of this race, and it's to try and win. We've got 13 drivers on the lead lap. I want to congratulate Aaron Bockover, who has gotten onto that lead lap again. Once he goes by the pace car, Bockover will be the tail end of the lead lap cars. So a yeoman's effort out there for the 44 machine to get himself back on the lead lap. The 16 of Ian Havia going to do the same thing, just waiting for those lights to go out on the Ford Mustang, and they'll rejoin the tail end of the field. Well, it's going to be a race to the end, Rick, with about 59 laps to go when we take the green flag. Definitely going to have to stop for fuel and tires if you haven't used up all their tires yet. This one is far from over.
It is far from over, Chris, because there's a lot of things. I mean, we're going to have a massive run, and if it stays green, these guys, you know, they had a couple of incidents, but it's been fairly clean here tonight. So if it's a nice long green flag run, we're going to see some green flag pit stops, and we're going to find out who still has that extra set of tires, and I'm sure some of them do. And it's going to get real interesting here.
Yeah, it is, and I'm looking forward to it.
You know what I'm looking forward to? I'm looking forward to Terry Foster bringing home a top 10. You know, not a top 5, but a top 10. That way I don't have to drink a White Claw.
If you do it, I'm going to tape it. I'm just going to put it out there. We're doing a video. And yeah.
Make sure you promise me that you'll shut it off after I puke it back up, because I might talk to Aaron Bockover, see if we can get me a Busch Latte or something to wash it down with.
Yeah, I'm thinking you're going to need something. All right, pace car lights are out. Cars are starting to rejoin the tail end of the field. These cars are going to line up 2 by 2, getting ready to go one more time here around this 1.5-mile track known as Kansas Speedway. Derek Polson is going to be your race leader. He chose the outside lane. Jamie Walker in second to the inside. Then it's going to be the 63 of Dakota Todd with Hayden Wheeler to his outside in his number 4. Row number 3 is going to be Corey Sherman and Taylor the Butcher Benjamin. David Bennett, Terry Foster make up row 4. Row 5 going to be Rick Thompson and Brad Collins in the 22. And what a night Collins is having, Rick. He was also down a lap. Now he's gotten that back, and he's in the top 10.
Yeah, I mean, it's just outstanding. I mean, that's you know, cookie cutters, a lot of people give them a lot of flack, but they do produce some good racing here, especially when you have top-notch drivers like the guys here at Blazing Pedals, Chris. And, you know, a lot of things happen. You don't give up. You keep out there running. And I'm kind of interested to see how Paulson does here on this restart as the pace car goes down pit road, because Jamie Walker likes that inside.
Well, we're going to do something, Rick, we haven't had the opportunity to do for quite a long time. We're going to go on board with the 16, and we're going to listen in to his live spotter, Tim Habiak.
All right, a little bit slower traffic in front of you. Just be smart. You're clear all around. Clear all around. Outside. Clear. Next pit stop will be 4 tires of fuel. 2 back. Clear all around. Still got fresher tires than a lot of these guys in front. So. Take your time, be patient. This is 4 cars in front. He is for 10th position. They're all around. 22, 6 back. Inside. Inside. Bumper. Clear. They're all around. Up in the wall in front of you. They're all around, clear to the wall. Slide it up. They're all around.
I'm committed to that line.
That's fine, you're good.
You got to commit earlier.
Hey, you're fine. 2 by 2 behind you. Next car's for position.
You like move the steering wheel top right and slide this.
2 by 2, 5 back. They're all around.
So some pretty big key words being used right there by Tim Habiuk, Rick, and the biggest one of all that caught my attention is patience.
Exactly, Chris. And, you know, I mean, Ian, I had that question earlier, just listening in there. I think Ian's happy to have his dad back, having the eyes in the sky once again. And I think it's helping calming him down a little bit, and that's exactly what he needs. I mean, Ian Habiuk sitting there in that top 10 position right now, looking pretty good. First of all, that was going on, Chris. It looks like we have a new race leader. Jamie Walker retakes the lead there. I'm not exactly sure what happened with the 6th of Paulson. He's sitting in 6th position. We also saw Rick Thompson there get into the wall a little bit, fell down into 12th position right now in that 76 machine.
Yeah, he was up in the wall, Rick, but he's got that 76 righted as he goes underneath the 22 of Brad Collins. So Thompson looking to gain back some of the spots that he just lost. Right now he's behind Ian Habiuk by about 2.5 seconds or so, and Ian is just trying still to catch the 41 of Don Kilroe. And Rick, we know that that can be a challenge here. Kilroe very fast, usually in the closing portions of a race, and we're getting there, Rick. 52 laps to go.
Yeah, we are. And that 41 really starting to pour it on, Chris, sitting there in 9th position. He's got the 55 of Rutherford right behind him there. Of course, Rutherford is 2 laps down right now. So not for position, but Colin picking his way back through the field, and this is exactly what, you know, we thought we would see out of Kilroe.
And the thing about Kilroe that we still don't know, Rick, is how many more sets of tires does the kid have? He's so good at saving tires. Certainly last time in, he didn't have to take them, only on his pit stall for about 4.2 seconds to fill up that gas tank, and then he was out. So very, very quick pit stop out of the 41 team. Back up front, though, it is the 88 of Jamie Walker, your race leader still, with Dakota Todd in his 63, still running in 2nd spot. Hayden Wheeler in the 4 has had a fantastic night, running most of this night here, Rick, tonight in the top 3. Speaking of 3, it is the 3 car of Corey Sherman in the 4th position here tonight. And we're going to skip past that guy right there because we don't want to talk about him. Running in 5th.
I don't know what flavors they have, but I'm going to have to pick one that's good. Good to see Terry Foster having a great night, though, man. It is cool.
It is a lot of fun to see him out there. You know he's got well, look, we thought he had a smile on when he led at Talladega, and he said, guys, I wasn't smiling. I was sweating. So maybe that's exactly what he's doing right now. Right behind him, though, Derek Paulson running in the 6th spot. You got to go back about 2 seconds to find the 10 of Taylor the Butcher Benjamin. David Bennett in the 13. Right behind him, Bennett's having a good night tonight. Seems like he's everywhere up front. Dalton Kilroe in that 9th position. We were just talking about him with Ian Habiuk behind him, and he is closing the gap in on Dalton Kilroe.
Yeah, I mean, Bennett is another one of those drivers, Chris, that, you know, he's been looking for a good night. He's been racing very hard there in that number 13 machine, and, you know, it's paying off here tonight. And let me tell you, we don't get to talk about him too much, but that Hammock plumber, go to Twitter and check that out. I love that hood decal, man. That just looks cool.
It does. Not to mention the Canadian flag symbol on the back bumper of the number 13. So,
and you know, speaking about bumper, Chris, he's starting to get all over the back bumper of the Butcher there.
Yes, he is.
Bennett, he's definitely not done, man.
You know, they call them cookie cutters, Rick, because they're shaped similar. They're 1.5 mile long tracks, but they race pretty differently. And we're seeing that here tonight as some of the comings and goings of these drivers have really been out there for all of us to see from last week to this week.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Chris. And of course, we have another one next week as we head over to Michigan, man. That's another track, one of my favorite tracks as the quote-unquote cookie cutter. I mean, Michigan and Auto Club are pretty much neck to neck in my book. And, you know, then, of course, you got like Atlanta that's right above those two. But and good racing here. I mean, Blazing Pedals, these guys, you know, they're top-notch drivers, Chris. They have a lot of respect for each other, and they just want a good, clean race, and they're definitely doing that tonight, man. It's been fantastic here in Kansas.
It really has been. 3 drivers so far here tonight not going to make it to the end, Rick. It's Travis McChesney going to finish in the 22nd spot. The 23rd spot going to belong to Blake Decker, and, of course, the 24th spot going to end up as the number 2, Jacob Hoppy's position here at the end of the race. And unfortunately for those 3 drivers, they find themselves early on in the hauler. Lap 117, 45 laps to go of the 161 laps we were scheduled for here tonight, Rick. And remember, too, that doesn't mean that that's all we've got. It just means that that's all that's scheduled.
You're absolutely right, Chris. And I think we're in for a good show here at the end. I mean, we got some green flag pit stops that are going to be happening here, probably about another 10 laps or so. And that's when things are really going to get interesting, because like we talked about so many times here tonight, we know that some guys have those tires in their back pocket. We know that some guys are probably wishing they had those tires in their back pocket, but maybe they're happy where they, you know, they're sitting right now. And it's going to get real fun and interesting here in a few more laps.
Awesome display of driving here tonight from all of these drivers. There's been a lot of wall rubbing here, Rick, but it's only really brought out the caution the one time. Otherwise, these guys have been very good about staying on the wall. So good to see that.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough because, I mean, a lot of times that's where you want to run. I mean, especially when you're on the front or the back straights, Chris, you kind of want to be up towards that wall as you're starting to get into the corners. We see Jamie Walker come through the tri-oval and suck right up to that wall there as he heads into one. And, you know, that by itself takes a lot of knowledge and concentration, because you want to run as close as you possibly can to that wall without getting sucked into it, without losing your car, tapping it, because we saw it so many times tonight. Exactly what happens. You're going to scrub some speed. And a lot of these guys, they have it figured out.
Yeah, there's a lot of learning going on track. Even still, so deep into the race.
You know, you don't stop racing until them checkers wave.
That's it. Well, keeping an eye on Hayden Wheeler. He's running in the 3rd spot, but the 3 car is starting to catch the back bumper. That's Corey Sherman in the 3. And he is going to be trying to catch that back bumper of Hayden Wheeler. If he can do that, he wants to get into the top 3, Rick. You know that he would love a solid finish here tonight. Corey Sherman due for one.
He definitely is. And, you know, I know he's pressing very hard, Chris. And, I mean, number one, I got to say thank you to Corey, because of the cool stuff that he set me up with my order from Savage Edge Graphics, my T-shirts and everything. What he did for me with Terry's shirt that I had painted. I mean, that's just very cool that I have a shirt with a car that I painted on it, and he's due. And I got to say thank you, though, because seeing that number 3 out there, Chris, I mean, that's an iconic number. You either love the man or you hated the man, and it's really cool to see it out there on track once again.
An homage to Dale Sr. Corey Sherman doing a great job with the paint scheme and trying to catch the back bumper of Hayden Wheeler, although he has dropped a little bit of time there in the last couple of laps. He was a little bit closer than he is now 0.6 of a second behind. And behind them, it is Terry Foster, and it looks like he's pretty much all alone out there, Rick. Terry Foster about 2.7 seconds behind Corey Sherman. He's got David Bennett about 7 seconds behind him, and Bennett actually fighting with Paulson right now for the 6th spot, and Bennett looks like he's going to take that over pretty easily.
Yeah, Bennett has just been moving up through the field, Chris, and that 13, it's starting to pull in here late in the race here. Of course, we got about 38 laps left to go, and Bennett is doing a heck of a job there with that 13.
So that does put Paulson back into the 7th spot. His teammate, Taylor the Butcher Benjamin, TBB, with his 1 race win here at Talladega this season. TBB out there in the 8th position. Brad Collins in the 22, running in the 9th position, with Don Kilroe starting to catch him in the 41. So Kilroe late in this run starting to turn it on a little bit. Tires are starting to equalize, and it's starting to show out on track, Rick.
Yeah, and that's where it's going to get interesting, Chris, because, I mean, this nice long green flag run here, we know that we're going to have some action down on pit road here shortly, and that's going to find out, you know, who was smart and kept that extra set of tires, because they only need to make one more stop to go to the checkers. And whoever has those fresh tires, we're going to see them charging up through the field in no time.
Now, let's keep this in mind, Rick, because we do have the potential for a green-white checkered flag finish here, and if they do that, they're going to want to get every ounce of fuel out of that fuel cell here tonight on this run, or else they're not going to have enough fuel to do the green-white checker in case there is one. So just throwing that out there as another kind of thing that these drivers have to think about.
And, you know, it's on the minds of a few guys, but I don't know, Chris. I mean, you know, it could be the mind game thing, too. You know, they know it's been a nice, clean race so far. The chance of green-white checker, kind of slim, but we also know that when there's only a few laps left to go, guys are going to be making moves that they normally wouldn't have made because they saved their cars and their equipment for as long as they possibly can. Now it's go time. It's go or blow time, like I like to say. And guys are going to make some crazy moves. So, yeah, that is something to think about. I mean, you definitely don't want to be trying to take tires during a green-white checker, but you want to top off that fuel because unless you've been saving, that could get real sticky.
Well, we are closing in on the end of this fuel run, Rick, and Dakota Todd is also starting to close in on Jamie Walker. Your second place driver is starting to close the gap a little bit on Jamie Walker in the 88. The 88 may be slowing down to try and get every lap out of that fuel cell that he can, or Dakota Todd is starting to go faster on these older tires.
And we've seen that a lot from Todd this season, Chris. You know, he gets faster while everybody else starts slowing down because, you know, either he likes to lose a race car because, like you said earlier, loose is fast. And some people like it, some people don't, but I don't think we've seen the last of Dakota Todd yet.
Yeah, Todd definitely is closing in, Rick. You can see the difference on the screen right now as for a moment they were both showing up in the picture. Dakota Todd has pulled within a half a second of Jamie Walker. And these guys have been out there now for, Jamie Walker brings it down pit road and Todd follows him in. What a move out of Dakota Todd. And that is going to give Hayden Wheeler a chance. No, Hayden Wheeler also coming down pit road, as is Terry Foster. So top 5 drivers right now on pit road. Make it 6 as David Bennett also comes down pit road. The 6 of Derek Paulson stays out.
And, you know, we talked about it earlier, Chris. In case the green-white checker comes out, now there's one guy that stayed out that was in that top 4, and that's Corey Sherman. He's leading this thing right now. I'm thinking that he might come down. I thought that, you know, maybe TNA might have came down together, but Jerry Foss said, no, I ain't chancing it. But right now, the Shermanator, he's going around once again.
He is going around once again. Derek Paulson also going around. Paulson definitely clutching that car, trying to get around this track. These guys are getting everything out of that fuel cell, Rick.
Well, you know, Corey Sherman and Derek Paulson, 32 laps in this stint so far. Chris Dalton Kilroe right behind them in 3rd place right now with only 29 laps, and that also includes the 22 of Brad Collins and the 76 Rick Thompson, who have now finally come down pit road. But man, they're definitely trying to stretch out for as long as they possibly can.
And the 3 says that's enough. He drops it down on the apron, getting ready to come down pit road. We'll follow Derek Paulson now to see if he does the same. It looks like it, Rick, as he drops down onto the apron. The 41, Dalton Kilrow, no need to come down for fuel at this time, but you got to think tires, and he is too. The 41 comes down pit road. When this cycles through, Rick, the 88 should have the lead when we come back around with all these pit stops cycling through the way they are. And Walker does pick up the race lead, now led 101 laps here tonight.
Yeah, I'm just looking, Chris. I can tell you right now, Jamie Walker, Dakota Todd, they got some Dr. Feelgood. So does a Hayden Wheeler. Corey Sherman only on pit road for 10.8 seconds.
Oh, boy.
We're seeing some, wow. Look at our man, Terry Foster. He got tires on that 86 machine.
Yes, he did. Ian Habiak sitting in 4th spot right now, Rick. He's only been on track with this set of, with this gas and set of tires, it looks like, for about 17 laps. So Habiak making up a bunch of ground as he was a lap down before the drivers ahead of him came down. So now he finds himself on the lead lap in 4th position.
Yeah, big moves there from the kid, the Hurricane. I mean, we got 28 laps left to go. He's been out there for 18 laps, Chris, so he's going to have to come down at least for a splash. We'll see if Ian has anything, or Tim, actually, his crew chief, has anything in his back pocket. But right now, Ian doing a great job there in 4th position.
And Hayden Wheeler is going very slow around this track.
Yeah.
He's saving fuel. Hayden Wheeler may be afraid that he's not going to be able to make it in his Mopar machine.
Well, he came down pit road, Chris. You know that he got a full tank if he was out there for 14 and a half seconds there. So kind of interesting, but you said it, man. I think that answers your question. I think some guys are thinking about the green right checker in case it comes out. They want to have something, a little bit in reserve there. So kind of interesting to see what Hayden Wheeler does right now, sitting in 3rd position. Ian Habiak right behind him.
Yeah, well, right now we have a new race leader. It's Dakota Todd, who got around the 88. The 88 looking to return the favor at the line. Goes down underneath. Heading into turn number 1, the 88 takes it back. So Jamie Walker gave up the lead for just a moment. And Dakota Todd returns the favor.
And look at Ian Habiak. He gets around Hayden Wheeler, Chris. So Ian Habiak moves up to 3rd position.
All right, so let's see, 21 laps since the last time Ian was out there. About 30 laps is a fuel run. So with about 19 laps to go, it looks like Ian may have to come down pit road. And actually, Rick, he's doing it right now. He peels down. Jamie Walker, Dakota Todd, your top 2. Here comes the 42 around the 63. That's Kyle Wellman. He's 4 laps down and trying to get one back here as he's down to the inside. The 88 holds him off. And Dakota Todd fighting back again on the outside lane. Oh, the 42 catches the 5 in a hurry. Has to back off and wiggles out. The 41 right behind him. Dalton Kilrow sitting in 9th. He's the first car 1 lap down, trying to get past your race leaders. Has to, Rick, at this point. Has to get his lap back as quickly as possible, and then he needs to run away from these guys.
There's a lot of things going on here, Chris, with 23 laps left to go. This is the point in time where we stop using our full chair and we only use a quarter of it, man.
3 wide going down the back stretch. Dakota Todd takes the race lead back over around the 88. The 41 stays down on the inside. Dalton Kilrow trying to get his lap back the old-fashioned way. Still working. Oh, Oh boy, almost
Oh, boy.
out of caution. Able to hold on to it, I believe was the 42 though. Holy cow. Yeah, it was. Kyle Wellman did a fantastic job holding on to that Napa Auto Parts number 42.
A little bit of a pucker moment, but man, Chris, one thing that I have learned from you with our time here in iRacing back when we used to drive quite a bit is this is the time when it is go time. There's no more, no more just hanging back doing what you have to do. So I think we're about to see a lot of guys make some crazy moves here.
Yeah, well, you have no friends out there at this point, no teammates, no nothing, Rick. As everybody out there to do the same thing, and that's to try and win a race. And right now, Dakota Todd poised to do such a thing as he is out front ahead of Jamie Walker. The 22, Brad Collins, the first car one lap down, trying to go around Walker. He does. In the Fisham.net 22, Brad Collins now works on your race leader as he's trying to get down to the inside. Onto the apron goes the 22. Not going to be able to pass your race leader, but here comes the 88 getting back to the back bumper of Dakota Todd. So, yeah, lots of things going on. Here comes the 42. Wellman now to the inside of the 88. Wellman makes that pass happen as the 88 fights back on the outside. Behind them, it is the 76 of Rick Thompson. Thompson looking to try and get to the inside of Walker. Rick Thompson being scored as the first car, one lap down at this time.
I don't think that's going to be for long, Chris, as he gets around Dakota Todd there. The Speed Mafia working their way back up through the field the old-fashioned way, getting their laps back.
So that leaves your leader and second place runners to battle it out here for the race lead. With 19 laps to go, Jamie Walker closes in on the back bumper of the 63. Dakota Todd sees that happening, hits the go pedal a little bit harder and pulls away just a little bit. The 88 closes in on the corners, Rick. Very different strategies going through the corners here between these two drivers.
I'm a little further back here watching fourth and fifth, Chris. There's a little battle going on here. Terry Foster on the outside. You got Derek Paulson makes the move on the inside right now. They're kind of even coming through. But here comes the Chris IPA machine of Paulson to take over that position. Terry Foster still in the top 5.
Can he taste it? Rick, I hope you can taste it.
I know the boys up front are starting to save some fuel, Chris. That's all I'm going to talk about some fuel right now. We got 18 laps left to go, and Aiden, Terminator, help me out. Hey, a promise is a promise. This is gonna be the last one I ever make, though.
We haven't talked about him in a little while, but TBB sitting in third spot. That's the Butcher Benjamin sitting in that third position. And here comes the 33. Gonna try and get around him. The 33 is one of those lap down drivers. It's John Perkins actually being scored 3 laps down right now. Easily goes around the 10 machine as he's got some fresh tires. And here comes the 9 of Nico Kie. Again, 3 laps down, going around the 10 of Taylor the Butcher Benjamin.
Looking at Perkins' car, Chris, I can go for some barbecue with that White Claw, maybe. That might help.
Will it?
No.
Yeah, take a peek in on Hayden Wheeler. Wheeler has spent a good portion of tonight's race in the top 3. Unfortunately for him, finding himself in the 6th position right now is Hayden Wheeler in the 4. That Mopar machine is, well, maybe the engine's getting a little tired, Rick. It's fallen back here again to the 6th position behind Terry Foster by about 1.5 seconds right now. Behind him, it's the 3 of Corey Sherman, another guy who's been running solidly in the top 5 right now. Finds himself in that 7th position with Dalton Kilrow in 8th.
Brad Collins in that 22 sitting in 9th position. Chris rounding out that top 10. Speed Mafia brother Rick Thompson in the 76. David Bennett having a great run here still tonight, sitting in 11th in that 13 machine. Ian Habiak, the Hurricane, he's working on getting around Dalton Kilrow right now. Ian Habiak being shown 1 lap down. The first car 1 lap down.
Yeah, sitting 12th spot for Ian. a respectable night here tonight. A good solid top 15 out of him would be a great night for Ian, who's had some difficulties here for the last couple of weeks without his dad up into the booth, talking him through it. But Ian right now sitting in that 12th spot. Again, he's the first car one lap down, so should we have a caution at this time, Ian would be the lucky dog. Aaron Bockover is sitting in 13th spot. Again, he is making up laps, guys. Just a little while ago, he was 2 laps down. Now just 1, sitting in the 13th spot, running about 7 seconds behind Ian Habiak. Back up front, it's Dakota Todd still leading the way. He's now led 16 laps. What do you got, bud?
Got Shermanator into the wall a little bit, scrubbed some speed there. Looks like Dalton Kilroe starting to catch up there a little bit to make that pass. That's going to be for position.
Yeah, Kilroe's gone to the outside. The 3 back up to speed, so it's a battle here for position number 7. And Dalton Kilroe takes it out of the corner and across the line. So Kilroe now moves himself up into the 7th position here tonight. Corey Sherman falls to 8th. And still just checking in on your race leader, Dakota Todd, and the 88 of Jamie Walker. The gap 0.2 of a second, 2 car lengths right now between those 2 cars. Rick, what do you have?
Yeah, that's what I was just going to talk about, Chris. I mean, Walker not giving up on it. I mean, doing a heck of a job trying to catch up to Dakota Todd, but man, that 63 is pretty fast here tonight.
I believe Todd, one of those drivers, locked in already. And if not, he is looking to be, as he is leading the way. He's led 18 laps here so far. Jamie Walker in 2nd spot has led 107. Would love to lead the last one. He's already won stage 1 and stage 2 here tonight. Can the 88 get back out in front?
It's going to get real interesting, Chris. I mean, I think he could. I really do. And of course, Walker, I mean, it's hard to read him, Chris, but here he goes. He's going to make a move on the inside now. He's on the inside of the 63 way up on against the wall there. Walker not able to complete the pass, but he's definitely looking. He's starting to shake the nerves there of Todd, I think, a little bit, or at least try to. How did Dale used to put it? Rattle the cage?
And rattle the cage. Absolutely. Let's go ahead and hit the gyro cam here on the 88. The brand new gyro cam shakes and bakes along with the car. I love this new camera stuff that they've done. You can really see the banking in this corner, and you can see the 88 getting up nice and close to the 63. 63 steps out just a little bit, able to hold on. So these cars are starting to get a little bit loose now as the 88 hits the apron, can't get there. The 63 holds on, heading into turns 1 and 2. And this is where the 63 has been able to pull away a little bit, using that higher line heading in. Walker can't keep up on the inside lane, gives up too much momentum. But he's been doing a very good job coming off of turns 3 and 4. You see it here, Rick. He got right to the back bumper, actually had to lift.
Yep, had to lift. I mean, very respectable driver, Walker is. And, man, he's trying. He's giving it everything that he possibly can. Now, quickly, Chris, I just glanced over that track temperature. What a huge difference here. I mean, we saw it got up to 120 degrees here tonight. Right now, it's sitting at 95 degrees.
Yeah, that is a huge difference. But too late. The tire's already gone.
Exactly.
6.5 laps to go, we'll call it. Make it 6 as they cross the start-finish line. Dakota Todd, Jamie Walker still duking it out here for the lead, and wow, was the 88 close that time.
He's definitely keeping that pressure on Dakota Todd right now, Chris. Now he's got, whoa, look at the afterburners on the 63.
Yeah, these two are having fun out there racing hard against each other. Two very clean, respectful racers getting it done and having a good time. The 88. Wellman was down there having issues, and I think that made the 88 second guess himself, as he did have a run.
I'm not driving, Chris. My heart's pounding.
5 laps to go here from Kansas Speedway, and we've got a battle for the race lead. It's the 63, Dakota Todd, trying to defend against the 88 of Jamie Walker. Walker down to the inside. That's the best look he's had in the last 6 laps.
He's not done yet, Chris. He pulled back a little bit, but now he's, oh, man, it's going to get good.
Down onto the apron, trying to complete this pass. The 88 goes side by side once again with Dakota Todd in the 63. Todd uses the outside lane, sails it in, and starts to pull away a little bit. Then has to get on the brakes, Rick, and the 88 comes back underneath.
Holy cow.
Walker trying desperately to find a way. These 2 cars evened up here as we go around turns 3 and 4, getting ready to go across the start-finish line. 3 laps to go here from Kansas.
Wow.
4.5 miles, Rick, to decide this one, and the 88 takes a slight edge, gets sideways. They touch going into turns 1 and 2, coming out onto the backstretch. The 88 still pushing as hard as he can. Dakota Todd battling back on the outside. Side-by-side action going into turn number 3. Jamie, go ahead.
My hat's off to. Oh. As they go around Ian, holy cow, man, my heart is pounding these guys. Holy cow.
Popsicle sticks in the air, 2 laps to go, and they are still touching side by side going into turns 1 and 2. The backstretch going to supply the next leg of the battle between first and second spot. Right now, Jamie Walker has it by about an inch. Into turns 3 and 4, momentum helping out on the outside as Todd sails it in. And now coming out, the 88 with the slight advantage, the white silk unfurled and flying. 1 more lap to go. And Jamie Walker, what a wicked move. As the white flag is in the air. And this is definitely a race to the end. Jamie Walker with a heck of a move. Dakota Todd, something's going on with the 63 machine.
Oh no. I have a feeling he may.
Did he drop out of gas? He may have, Rick, but the checkered flag falls on the number 88 of Jamie Walker. Perfect sweep on the night for Jamie Walker. As the 88 takes this one home, good news for Rick. No White Claw in his view. Oh, wait a second. Scoring is changing all over the place.
Scoring's changing like crazy here. I'm showing him in 5th.
Rick, get the White Claw ready, brother. We're calling it. Terry Foster comes home in 5th spot. So it's going to be Jamie Walker, Derek Polson, and Dalton Kilrow out of nowhere to take 3rd. Corey Sherman, 4th spot, and TNA driver Terry Foster taking 5th position. White Claw in Rick's future.
I'm gonna have to let Terry maybe pick the flavor and see if I can find it. I don't even know if they even sell it around here. I mean, we're Vermont, man.
I've seen it on the shelves, Rick. You're in trouble. You're not getting out of it.
Did I say if it came in the top 4?
No. We can go back. I believe it was lap 87 you called out.
Mm-hmm.
What a race to the end, my goodness. Guys, don't go away. We're going to be right back after a quick message from Pride Outdoor Network for the post-race interviews. Back live here from Kansas. We've got our top 3 getting ready to to talk to us, and we're going to start right off with third place finisher Dalton Kilrow. And this is the driver of the 41. Dalton, this is Chris and Rick up in the booth. Do you have a copy?
10-4.
Well, kind of came out of nowhere, my friend, but a good, solid third place finish. What a couple of weeks you've had.
Yeah, it's definitely been a good little stretch of races I've had. I knew it'd be close, and a lot of guys were running out as we crossed the line there. So it was just all trying to play a little bit of strategy, and I kind of didn't help myself trying to save a set of tires if there was a late race caution. But it is what it is. I'll still take a P3. Yeah,
P3 for sure. Who you got on the 41 that you need to thank, bud?
Well, I got to thank Daddy-O's Barbershop for being my sponsor for this league, you guys for the broadcast, the Pride Outdoor Network for hopping on for the rest of the season. They're awesome. What am I forgetting? TRJkarting.com, Dr. Squatch Soap, Top Flight PC, Mark and Sam for sitting up in the admin booth with us knuckleheads driving around this track, and everybody for having a nice long, everybody that was racing for having a nice long green flag run there.
Yeah, a couple of them for sure. Dalton, congratulations once again on P3 here tonight.
10-4, thank you.
41, Dalton Kilrow coming in third. Rick, I believe you picked up our second place finisher here tonight.
That I did. The driver of the number 6 Crisp IPA Dr. Squatch Soap Racing Machine for Top Flight PC Racing. Eric Paulson, you got Rick Chris up in the booth. You got a copy, buddy?
Yep, you got me.
I do, man. Wow, what an outstanding night here for you, man. Run us through your race a little bit.
I didn't get a very good qualifying lap. I guess I didn't qualify till towards the end, and that was fine with me. I'm just going to ride around. This track's very abrasive, and that first segment, I was able to save tires, and I'm like, these tires are still pretty good yet. So then I didn't take them after the first stage, and so I did have an extra set in the pits at the yellow when it came out, but at the end, it came down to fuel again, and as you know from the Vegas race, I'm pretty decent at saving fuel, so it played into my favor. Car felt good. The guys did a fantastic job racing tonight. Hardly any caution, so it's a really good race all around.
Oh, it really was, man. And yeah, you're right. I mean, you do know how to save fuel, man, and it's just awesome to see you. I was kind of pulling for you there a little bit and hoping that you got up to the first, but man, you had a heck of a night considering where you started, man. So congratulations. Anybody on that 6 machine you'd like to thank?
Yeah, I got a long list here. We got to thank the Pride Outdoor Network. We got to thank you guys for broadcasting. It's awesome every week. Got to do Blazing Pedals. Great league. Got to thank TRJ Karting for sponsoring the league. I got to give a shout out to Skittles. It's the first time I'm getting interviewed from this. It's sad that she's not with us anymore, but I'm sure she's watching from above. I got to thank Top Flight Computers and Dr. Squatch. I got to thank Brian and the team. And that's about it.
Oh, man, that's outstanding. Hey, listen, Michigan next week. How you feeling about that?
Well, I don't know if you remember, but that's where I clinched the championship last year. So I kind of like Michigan. It's a good track. I may not be the fastest, but I do like that track, and I'm fairly decent at it.
All right, brother. Hey, listen, you got some momentum to bring with you, so we'll see you next week. Good luck, and enjoy that second place finish.
Yep. Thank you, guys.
All right, and that was Derek Paulson in the 6, bringing it home in second spot tonight, bringing home the race win, though. And what a battle for about the last 15 laps or so between him and Dakota Todd. It's Jamie Walker in the 88 with the sweep. Jamie, Chris, and Rick up in the booth. You have a copy.
Oh, that was a lot of work there. Yeah, I've got a copy.
Oh, man, I do not know how you guys were able to keep off from each other. There was actually some contact going on in the cleanest sense of the term, but how you guys didn't end up spinning each other out, I will never know. I'm going to give you a hell of a job, man. That was wicked.
Yeah, me and Dakota, we've been racing pretty close now. We know when to get aggressive and when not to, and he's been pretty respectful towards me and vice versa towards him, so I've gotten used to it. It's been pretty good with him.
It was a lot of fun to watch. You definitely had Rick and I using about a third of the chair, and it was really, really fun. Make sure you go back and check it out. Jamie, who do you have on the 88 that you need to thank tonight, my friend?
Of course, yeah, everybody knows Skittles. She's going to be on my car now until I can no longer run this sim. So, of course, everybody at Blazing Pedals, you guys up in the booth, you guys are doing a great job. I can't thank you guys enough. TRJ Carty for coming on board. I've putting on some pretty good shows lately for them, so I'm pretty happy about that. So.
Absolutely, and I'm sure they're happy to have signed you up to a contract for the year, Jamie. Congratulations once again on your race win. And we've got one more guy to talk to, Rick, and it's going to come as a surprise to him, but Terry Foster, Chris and Rick up in the booth, do you have a copy?
I do, guys. How you doing?
Well, I'm doing really good, Terry.
I could be better.
And I'm going to tell you, you don't know why you're up here in the booth with us, but I'm about to fill you in. Back on about lap 87 or so, Rick had to go and open his mouth on something, Terry. He said, if Terry Foster finishes top 5, I will drink a White Claw for him.
Chug it, baby.
Listen, oh man, I thought we were brothers, man. I thought you'd have been like, it's okay, you know. Yeah, we're happy for you.
What a hell of a race, man. That was fun, guys. That was awesome.
That was a lot of fun. A lot of fun to watch.
I was told I had to be out of the top 20, or I hope I done all right with that, Rick.
You did fabulous, brother. I'm so happy for you, and of course, your teammate Shermanator had a heck of a race too. But man, I'm so glad to see you up in the top 5, man. Congratulations, and don't worry, Chris will post a video, or I'll post a picture. We'll figure something out, but I'll make good on my promise.
It's going to be a video. There's no
I don't know if I want that
about
on your phone, because it'll never go away. But we'll do something.
Well, all 3 TNA guys, we all finished in the top 10.
You did.
You did.
Yeah, so I'm pretty happy with the team today. We all done exceptional well. I know Aaron got down a little bit, but he got it back. And man, it was a hell of a race. I know I was 5th, but it was a win for me, guys.
Absolutely, and a big congratulations going out to you, Terry. Let's go ahead and talk about race results here. Jamie Walker, Derek Polson, Dalton Kilroy, your top 3. Corey Sherman bringing it home in 4th position. In 5th, we just talked to him, Terry Foster, and his number 86. Dakota Todd, out of fuel, Rick still manages a 6th place finish. Hayden Wheeler, who had a fantastic night here tonight, finishes in 7th spot. Brad Collins finishes in 8th position. Taylor the Butcher Benjamin finishes in 9th, with Aaron Bockover, Rick Thompson, and Ian Habiak rounding out the top 12. In 13th spot, it's going to be the 13 of David Bennett, Nick Okie, Hank Caston, and John Perkins picking up the top 16. In 17th spot tonight, the 55, Corey Rutherford, and the 73 of Casey Campbell finishes 18th. Brian McRae finishes 19th. Kyle Wellman in the 42 with a 20th place finish. In 21st, it's going to be Patrick Abrahamson. Travis McChesney picks up a 22nd, Blake Decker 23rd, and Jacob Hoppy round out the field here tonight. Want to thank everybody for tuning in to the Turn 3 Racing Network here on YouTube, also live on the Pride Outdoor Network. Until next week, we will see you next time.
At all.